And we are live.
We
Yo,
are live.
it's
We
your
are
boy
recording.
King D Raj,
Trucker named Jay checking in, man.
The original Trucker Brown.
and we are on the I'm About That Life podcast coming to you again. We got some good topics today, man. We're gonna talk about some things. We're gonna give our perception,
Yeah.
our vision on this, and y'all let us know what y'all think. So the big news right now is about Will and Jada, right? The Will and Jada uh, ride together, die together, bad marriage for life, which I don't. That was dumb. But anyway, um, how do y'all feel about that? I know we was gonna touch on that, but how do y'all feel about that?
I mean,
Um,
yeah. Take that seat, mama. Close the
you
door.
go ahead. You go ahead, Jay. You go ahead, Jay. You go ahead.
I mean, if we gonna get straight to the nitty gritty, man. I mean, I fuck with it. You know, as
Huh?
somebody, yeah, I fuck with it, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, man. When it comes to marriage, people are very critical on what they think a marriage is supposed to be like. But at the end of the day, kind of like we touched on last episode, if it works within the confines of their marriage, man, that's what worked for them. You know what I mean? Marriage is about unity between those two. Period. It's the man, the woman.
But
You know.
hold on. But Will wouldn't have had the teary-eyed face if it worked within the confine of their marriage.
Mm,
True.
mm.
Then
Or,
what's the teary face for then and all that?
man, that's to me.
Was that him acting to get the
I'm about
views
to
up?
say to. I'm about to say to me, that could be content, man, because I feel like Will and Jada are smart enough to know what sells. You know what I mean?
Listen,
And
bro.
hey,
Ain't nobody donkey fucking your old lady then making a song about them in national like August I seen it did and you cool with it, bro. Ain't no part of that real, dog. That
I'm not
nigga was
saying
donkey
I'm
fucking
not
your old
saying
lady, dog.
no. I'm not saying he cool with that, but it's been done. It's over with. I think if he had an issue with anything, it is the public, quote unquote humiliation of it. That that aspect of it. You know what I mean? Like everybody else knowing, yes, that's an issue. But as far as within their marriage, I think that he was like, yo, you know what had happened? We were separated. Damn, bro. It
Ain't
happened.
none
We
of
were
us talking.
separated.
You just pulling up.
You know what I mean? Do your thing, bro. But
Bro, that's loud, bro.
it's
Oh, my
very
bad.
loud. It's
Oh, it's
very
loud like that. Damn.
yes. But I think that I think it being public, I think it's the real issue for Will. But it actually happening, I don't think was of course it was an issue back then, but I think at this point, I don't think that's what Will is mad
No.
at. I think he's mad at
Mm-hmm.
the public humiliation of it. You know what I mean? And as somebody, who can be vulnerable that has been in that situation with his wife, the humiliation is what hurts. The actual act hurts, but it's that can be gotten over. But everybody looking at your now, everybody judging you, everybody coming at Will like, dude, you just gonna that ass.
But
Everybody else
have
now
y'all
coming.
seen have y'all seen the pictures of her in August Alsina? Like
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
public eye? Like, how could you
yeah,
not know something was going on the way that was
Bro.
crazy? And I didn't even know they had separated like that.
that's the thing. You know what I mean? I think he just back then he
Everybody
probably
said
didn't
everybody
care.
would say Will and Jada was goals, but now you see they just as messed up as everybody else.
But why can't that be
Ain't they
goals though?
always?
A marriage that's human. Again, we can't put certain standards on other. You don't think Beyonce and Jay Z went through some shit? Barack
I
and
think that was a
Michelle.
lie.
Yeah,
That
bro.
was that was that was all for the CDs
Now
and,
we're
and
not
the
gonna say it was a lie, none of that, but it was she won't walking around holding hands and taking them to the Met Gala and come on, bro. Let's
I
be
mean,
real, dog.
I'm being
Y'all the
real.
same people. Y'all the same people that don't even want your old lady judging a dick pic. Now all of a sudden we intellectual and we okay with them getting donkey fuck. Stop, bro. Stop.
Hey
I didn't
man.
say I was okay with it.
Hey man.
Like Nino on New Jack, cancel her. She got to go. If a person has the least bit of respect for you to where they are going to go in public and all that stuff, that means they don't respect you at all. They don't respect your business. They don't respect how your children are going to view. They don't respect nothing. She got to go.
But
Not
that
to
was 4
mention, no
years
one's
ago.
talking about. No one's talk. I don't care if it was during the Stone Age. If and it don't. Another thing too, the fact as a predator, because Jada's a predator.
That's different. That's a different.
She's,
That's different. That's
she,
different. That's
no,
different.
no, it is all in there. Because if it was if Will would have did this with a little 22-year-old
Yeah.
Thundercat,
Yeah, that's a
son,
different
it'd
topic.
been a wrap.
That's a fact.
So
That is definitely
I
a
don't
fact.
consider it a different topic. It is the same topic. It's the same topic because the fact we're not calling out the fact that she's able to do this stuff and save freaking face. He need to cut her, divorce her, get rid of her. Because if you don't respect me enough to save face just in public, you can't even
Right.
give me that. You got to go. You must leave.
Right. But
All
it's
right, if that's the case, then where is who was Will in a relationship with that we know about in public? I'll wait.
now I've heard that Will and Jada were swingers. I've heard they had an open relationship.
Listen to the
I've
question.
heard that as well.
Where is Will Smith in public in an actual I'm gonna say it right, in an entanglement? Show me them pictures.
I mean, but we not gonna act like celebrity marriages. I mean, it happens all the time.
There ain't no pictures on.
But the thing is, nobody is saying bad Jada. That's my problem.
Right.
Nobody is saying bad Jada. Even though
what are pictures at? Do we have the pictures of him entanglement in public?
Not that I know of. Not that I know of, no.
So he probably, let's say, I don't know what he's doing behind closed door, but he at least had enough respect for the business and the brand not to put it in public, right?
Right.
That was my point.
Right.
That was my point. That was the issue that
go.
he had. That was the issue that he had. Not that she did it, but because now it's coming back and blowing up in their face. That is the issue that I feel like Will had. I don't feel like Will have an issue that she did it. I feel like he has an issue that it's everybody's business now. That's what I feel like the issue for Will is. So
why nobody saying, yo, August Alsina, why are you opening your mouth, light skinned dude? Like, why ain't nobody like what is up?
Come on, bro.
I mean,
okay, well she got to him when he was in an emotional problem. She's supposed to be like a therapist helper. He confided in her, and she put that wham bam on him. He was vulnerable.
I will say that's why I thought that was a whole different subject because, like, we started off talking about their actual marriage, but as far as her and Alsina, like, he's 5 years older than her son, so that's
predator.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. I thought that would be a whole nother. That's different from their marriage and cheating. It's one thing to talk about. Okay, the wife cheated on the husband. Okay, but to say that the wife cheated with someone her son's age, that's a whole. Because that's a bigger issue. That's a way bigger. If this was reversed,
but I thought we were talking about Will. I thought we were talking about Will and Jada. I didn't know we confined it to their marriage.
Well, I feel like with the Will and Jada situations, it's so many different parts of this. I don't think that this is just one thing. I think you can look at this situation and have 5 different topics. You can look at the marriage. You can look at the double standard. You can look at the predatory. You can look at the way they save face. It's so many different ways, and that's why we've been hearing about it since it happened, because news outlets are, oh my God, this is like the Super Bowl for them with no content because of the coronavirus. You know what I mean? They're coming at it from all different angles.
I'm going to treat it how we treated it with R. Kelly. She's a predator.
Yeah,
she's a predator.
I agree.
But I mean, I would say she's a predator, but I wouldn't put in the R. Kelly.
No, yeah, that's definitely R. Kelly.
Let's be clear. R. Kelly's situation and how they brought him down, it was a young girl that happened, true, but the overall come down is about him having the code of young women, right? I mean,
Right.
that was the basis of them getting back in with that place in Atlanta, was the code of young women and all that type of stuff, and
The,
who were around the age of August Alsina,
yeah.
right?
The similarity, the main similarity between Jada and R. Kelly is in both of those. And D-Rock, this is what we talked about the other night. They were in a position of power over these individuals, whether with R. Kelly with the young girls and Jada with August, and they took advantage of these people with their power. Period. That's predatory.
Like,
Yeah.
That is the definition of the Me Too movement.
Yeah, but see, Me Too movement is they gonna show out for a man though?
Hell no.
Is they gonna do what now?
Are they gonna show out for a man?
No.
Have they done it yet? I mean, Me Too movement been around about 4 years now, 3 years. They ain't showed up for a man yet.
And it's crazy because as a man, as a male, you can't come out and say that because everybody gonna look at you funny.
Terry Crews did it, and they called him a clown.
That's a fact.
I mean that he did that with a dude. That was
still the same situation. It's a sexual act.
It was
done
somebody. It was
against
somebody
him.
with power.
Yeah, and they called him. I remember because I ain't gonna lie. At first, I joked him, but then when I realized the serious, because I mean, it sounded crazy. Somebody, because you think automatically, as men, we just like physicality. So you think of Terry Crews and how physical and big of a man he is. You know what I'm saying? And you think that nobody's gonna overpower him, but then you have to look at the definition of power. It's not always by physical nature. Power could be, I'm an executive in the TV land, so if you say something, you'll never work again. That's just as powerful as me being able to bench press 400 pounds and you can't bench press over 150. It's different ways to look at power.
That's even more powerful. But the biggest problem in this situation is that I'm gonna say the bad word, black women. When it comes to black women, and when they do something that's out of the way, other people who are supposed to hold them accountable make excuses, because what the black women are coming out and saying is that, oh, she was alone and stuff, and she needed somebody and stuff,
But I mean,
instead of just calling it what it is.
Yeah, but I think we discussed again last episode that when it comes to men and women have it a lot less difficult than men. So I mean, women.
Ooh, you gotta be careful what you're saying now.
Is it not a fact? That's what we're talking about right now. That's why Jada's walking away scot free.
No problem. Why isn't Facebook pulling her show off the air like they would do if it was Will?
Why isn't she canceled?
I can't even argue against that. That's a fact, bro.
I mean, you know what I mean?
If Will was out here hitting a 19 or a 22-year-old Thundercat, that girl would be
she would be a victim. She would call herself a victim.
She'll be a home wrecker or a victim, and Will would be preying on a young girl that thought that, oh, he's so famous, and it would be cancel him. It would be misogyny.
And then it probably would be. Then it would probably be other women that came out and say he did the same thing to me.
Oh, 100%.
Bingo. So where the other dudes that say that she done sat on their face? She done sat on more than one face out here now.
Yeah, because when it was so funny watching the interview, because when they brought up the separation, she wanted to be clear that it was over. So she was trying to justify that she felt like, listen, whatever I did in that time frame, whatever that time frame was, because they didn't even clarify, if I'm not mistaken, how long they were separated. So clearly she got some other bodies. So because she trying to make it like, look, anybody out there that's watching this, if you thinking about coming out, I'm letting my husband know we were separated, we were done. So what I mean, that might have been a subliminal message to anybody else that she has had situations.
Well, I mean, if they were separated, I get that they're done. But we're not talking. To me, it's not really about the act. If it's true that they were separated and Will is on there agreeing that they were separated, drop that situation. What we will talk about is if it is not 100% done, why are you public? And let's touch on Will for a second. Why are you even entertaining this woman if she went public? Like, I wouldn't even be entertaining her. Your kids are grown. You don't need to be with her for your churn.
Right.
So why are we now? Now it gives this look of, everybody's looking at him like he's weak because it's like, bro, she moved on. Why didn't you? Why is this
Yeah,
even a discussion if y'all were separated? It shouldn't even be news.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, he did say he told her, I guess he'll love her through anything. So I'm
Yeah.
guessing, maybe it's making him look good as a black man. Us showing that us black men can
But
love.
see, that go back to what I led with is that, when it comes to people's marriage, man, like if they decide that, if he decided that, hey, we separated, we did what we did, because, we never clarified what he did when he was out there. So he may think in his mind, like, hey, I was out there fucking too. You know what I mean? So, which is why I think
But why?
that,
Yeah,
Okay, so why
that's
was he?
true,
Why
but
was
that
his
doesn't
eyes
mean I
tearing
have
up?
to.
again,
And
I think that,
it doesn't mean I have to. It doesn't mean I have to continue respecting you though. I can't talk about and say, oh, well, you did wrong, but to me, as a man, I don't respect it though. I look
but
at.
you
I'm
gotta,
sorry,
but you
I
gotta
just don't.
look
I
at
don't
it as
respect it.
well. The thing that we're not factoring in, they're celebrities. So at the end of the day, celebrities always have to maintain an image. If they were regular, Joe and Jamie's, who knows how differently this would turn out. But because they are celebrities, that image, you gotta think they're popular. They have current shit that they have to keep going. She has a Facebook and whatever she's doing. He's got who knows what movie coming out. So they have to maintain that image. You know what I mean? That's over everything for
I
them.
feel that, but at the same time, I don't care. I don't respect you. I mean,
Right. Right.
I don't give celebrities any pass because if this was just, I wouldn't get a pass. So no, you're just
Yeah.
like me.
But that,
And if it was
that's
that
you.
big to be under, if it was that, dang, me, that's everybody who calling you weak with the memes, dude. A lot of people feel that way. It's not just me. I
Jay
don't
does have him
respect it.
as his Facebook profile picture.
And if you are a role model for other young men and all this other stuff, are you saying this is what you should do? Like I don't get. And if we need to keep it under wraps because we celebrities, why did we do table talk in the first place?
Right.
Why
And
didn't you let the rumors be rumors and just let them be rumors?
I think nah, because I think
They
in
trying to get them click
2020,
together.
nah, I don't think it's yeah. I think it's if this would have been maybe 2010, rumors would have just been rumors. But in 2020, there is no such thing as rumors. Perception has
No,
become
rumors are
reality.
always. It can be
Nah,
perception all it want to. She
nah.
cheated, and if as far as him, okay, perception can be what it is. If he never acknowledges it, then it's whatever. It's just,
Nah,
what I mean, leave
no,
it
sir.
alone.
Not in 2020, bro.
Okay,
Not in
okay,
2020.
quantify. You can't just keep saying no. Quantify what's gonna happen to Will because his wife cheated on him and he didn't say anything. Tell me what's gonna happen to him.
If he
Nothing.
doesn't say anything,
If it's a rumor that Jada cheated and Will is no rumor that Will cheated, it's the rumor that Jada cheated. How is that gonna affect him in a quantifiable sense? Tell me how it's gonna mess with him.
I don't know, but
It's not.
obviously they must have felt it would by addressing it because there's no reason for them to address it. If other, you know what I mean? If they don't feel like it's going to affect them at all, then they won't address it. Period. But in 2020
Nah.
with
First of all,
social media,
number one,
she has a show on a social media platform.
that
She
wasn't
has to
that wasn't the
address it.
question. That wasn't the question. Yeah, she has to address it. I
But
understand that.
she's
She has to
married
address
to
it.
him. So you have to
That's
look like
nice.
a
But let's
unified
be real.
front.
But
You have to look like a
you don't have
unified
to do
front.
anything, nigga. You've been popping for 30 years. You don't gotta do nothing. You don't have to act right now, nigga. You've been hot since '91. What do I have to act for? I can just quit.
Man,
I'm done. I'm gonna beat off
when
every
you
day.
when you are married and you are known as one of the more or the best marriages as far as celebrities go, you have to maintain that image. So to maintain that image, you have to address it. You can't let those rumors. Beyonce did an album to address the rumors. You just have to maintain it. It's just that's celebrity, dog.
Bro, I'm
That's
sorry.
celebrity 101.
I don't believe. I believe that if you have, unless you're trying to, let's say, oh, you have to put that break down a little bit more. If you're trying to, I don't think Will had to address it because he didn't do the bad doing. Now, if you're trying to come back and save your wife to get some understanding so she doesn't get tore down, okay, I see you doing that. But you saying he had to, that is just an untruth. He don't have to do shit. He didn't do anything wrong. Well, as far as publicly.
Right.
She
I think
didn't
that's why
run.
he did it,
She
though.
was
I think that's
eventually
why he
gonna
did
run.
it, to make sure
He
she
did
didn't
it
look
to
bad.
cape
Because
and help
they have
and
an
simp for
image
her.
of a great marriage. I think he did it for
Ain't
the
nobody give a
image.
fuck about Jada, bro. Be real. Nobody care about Jada. Won't
They
there?
don't
Ain't nobody
care
worrying about
about
Jada when he
Jada,
did Men in
or
Black, dog.
they care. Man, Jada. At the end of the day, when you say, you can't say Jada without Will. You can say Will without Jada. So
Dude, tell me one way that I don't give a fuck about Jada, bro. None. No one, dog. We watch Will's movies. Tell me the last box office that Jada had. Give me 5.
shit, I don't know, dog.
Exactly. When someone
Girls
Red
Trip.
table talk.
exactly.
Girls
The
Trip.
red table talk.
There you
But
go,
she wanted to
girls. This
start.
Guardian
one.
is falling.
So what I'm saying is not just to be up on Jada. Let's just be completely clear here.
Right.
Will's good.
Yeah,
He's good, bro. He did that
again,
for Jada,
that's yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
and he gets a
For
slap
the image.
Like,
For the image. Hey man.
So what do
Again,
y'all feel
man.
about the word entanglement?
left
Like,
out to
why
dry,
did she
dog.
say that? Why did she say, and I had an entanglement?
Because she know that she could. She know that as a black woman, she can go up there and say whatever she want, and nobody's gonna kill her for it.
Bingo.
Mm.
Let Will come up there
Now
and say entanglement. Let Will say, bro, come on, bro. Let Will Smith, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Men in Black, come up there and say entanglement. They will crucify him.
Yeah.
Crucify. Entanglement, bro.
That was
Even Will, even because it's so
entanglement.
funny, because you know they had a pre-production meeting, you know, just like we do, and we're gonna talk about blah, blah, blah. So when she said entanglement, he was like, wait a minute, this won't in pre-production. What the fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? An entanglement. No, acknowledge what you
It's
did.
because
And
we
even
do
and
not
it's so
hold
crazy.
women.
Hold on. It's yeah, to that point. It's so crazy because even in that shows me that in her mind, she is justified in doing what she's doing so much, but she know she can just go up there and give niggas shit and call it salad. Like, you know what I mean? That's like if she had one. No, she not even that. She rubbed her clit in that camera and people ate it.
Oh
Honestly.
man.
Honestly.
So she's still entangling with people.
She said entanglement. To me, that's her saying, I did it, so what?
Listen,
I don't
women
even
are
have to
allowed to
She
get
acknowledge
away
it.
definitely
with
she
women are
definitely did
allowed to
like
get
that.
away with fucking murder. She's a fucking predator. There's no difference. And she's allowed to go out and abuse young 20-year-old fucking men for her own fun, and no one's gonna say nothing. If the show ain't
Right.
pulled down, it's an atrocity. Period. Because
Well,
there's
the show's
no
not coming
man,
down. The show's not coming down.
white or black. Oh, we know that. White or
Yeah,
black
yeah.
that could have did that. And because we don't call her a predator for whatever, oh, they're a celebrity ass
Yeah.
reason, she can go on and move with impunity. But how many little August I seen a little like pretty little light skinned niggas she done abused? We don't fucking
Yeah.
know.
Right.
I do you one even better. She can go up there and let you know that she was a predator to this unstable. This is documented shit. He was unstable. But Nick Cannon can give a history lesson and all his shit get
He out of
canceled.
here. He out of here.
That's tough.
He can give a history lesson of about what happened, what actually happened. All Nick Cannon spoke on is what actually happened, documented, and everything canceled. Everything.
That's
But she can go up there.
Faces and ain't nobody doing nothing about it.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man.
And the
You
reason
can't.
why it's
And
crazy
listen,
is because we give celebrity. I don't give them no fucking. I don't give a fuck that you a celebrity, bro. That was a
right.
simp ass fucking move. And the thing is, the fact that you a celebrity, our black sons are watching this shit. That was a simp ass motherfucking move you did for my son to have to sit and watch this shit. Well, go back and beg. Fuck that bitch. You should have went on there and spit in that bitch face and said, "You gonna mess with my
I
fucking
won't say
Brandon
all that.
dollars?"
I won't say all
I
that.
say it.
Hey,
You
hey,
gonna
bro.
come on live TV and fuck with my brand deals and my Disney deals because your little wet pussy ass got wet for a little 20-year-old. Fuck him in the shed and keep it on the low. But you so in your feelings and can't make a critical fucking thought that you done affected the whole damn brand. Kill
Yeah.
Hey,
yourself. And I
bro,
done walked out.
why does he keep being in the middle? First of all, Second of all, hey, bro, these are two married men, so bro, I'm not
Yeah, bro,
saying
you got,
nothing
hey,
like
bro, throw me a lifeline, bro. Goodness, I'm trying to ride with you, bro, for the content, but hey, bro,
that.
my wife is like right
No,
next
it's not
room, bro.
fair,
Like
dog.
Jesus,
It's not.
but
It's
just
not
We
you
under,
know,
fair.
but
Fuck that. She raping little light skinned boys, and ain't nobody saying shit about it.
hey
you're
man,
right. You're right.
but you
She
gotta
sat on that nigga
understand.
and said, "I'm gonna give
Hey,
you some of
I
this
tell you
cougar
what,
pussy."
to bring it back around, what we spoke on last episode, man. This society allows it. So as long as this society will allow it, it's going to continue.
Right.
It's going to
It still
continue.
don't make it not light skinned nigga
Hey,
abuse.
yeah, hey,
I don't. I
it,
mean,
it, it, it,
society can allow a lot of shit. That's why we allowed to come on here and speak on it. She's abusing light skinned niggas with good hair, and somebody need to cancel that bitch.
I
Period.
wouldn't say he got good
Because
hair. I would say I have good hair, but okay.
yeah.
I change it around. Let me hit a little 21-year-old coming straight out of fucking Swift. What would I be?
Oh yeah, you
Look how
definitely be a
quiet it is. You
predator.
can hear a bitch nigga drop. Look how quiet it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's no, Jay, think about it. Let's say I hit four little 22-year-olds coming straight out of Swift trying to start their career. What would I be?
How old are you?
I'm 35.
Yeah, they'll kill you. They'll kill you.
Yeah,
They'll kill you. They'll kill you.
yeah.
100%. 100%.
My face be
We
up at the train.
if we go any younger than maybe 5 years younger than us, we automatically sugar daddies. We tricking. You know,
Sponsors,
yeah, yeah. That's a fact. I can agree with that.
Yeah.
But let me ask you
Yeah.
this though,
dirty
from a
old
different.
men.
Let me flip it around. So this happened 4 years ago. Do you not think that it is convenient that all this came out the week he released an album?
Because I'm trying to figure
Hey
out why
man,
would he even talk about it? Why would he
You know
even
what I'm
bring it up?
saying? I mean, because obviously they said this is 4 or 5 years, whatever they said, and he's already dealt with it. You know, I looked at his Instagram. He's clean. He seems to be doing better as a human or whatever. You know, all this was broken on an interview that he got with Angela Yee because his album came out. You know, and he's an independent artist, so you know the more he sells, the more he sees as an
Right.
independent artist versus an artist on a major label. And sometimes, by the research I've done, independent artists have a harder time promoting because it's coming out of their own pocket versus having a big monster of a label record behind them. So some could say that he's monetizing this and he's not really this poor person
but
that we all making him to be.
well, I feel like that's okay, and let me tell you why. Superhead,
Mm.
Superhead sold 3 million books. She's a good businesswoman, so why can't he do it? Oh no,
Right.
I'll give you no. Hold up. Monica Lewinsky,
Yeah,
best-selling
Mm.
author.
yeah,
Hey,
I'm
bro.
confused. So yes,
yeah,
do it. And my thing is, that's what you're supposed to think of before you decide to mess with somebody if you in that position. Because oh, they celebrities, and you've been a celebrity for 30 years. You should do better.
Right.
yeah,
That's a fact. That is definitely a
yeah.
fact.
Because she's definitely more of a celebrity than him, if that's a term. But yeah, she's
I
Yeah.
mean, I
definitely.
guess you could say that because I think Jada's ain't been popping. But true, she been out longer.
I,
She has legendary status. I'll give
yeah,
you
and the
that.
red table kind of brought it back. I think the red table
Yeah, but
brought
I
it
mean,
back.
you're gonna know the average person is gonna know even before all this. You're gonna know Jada Pinkett before you know August Alsina. I mean, I don't think a lot of people out of a small circle in R&B music know who August is. I mean, you know, they all sound the same music wise, so you know it makes
Right.
sense
That's
from
true,
his
but I
perspective.
mean, these new 18-year-old rappers hardly even know who Biggie Smalls is now. I mean, you're talking about someone who accolades go back to the early 90s, and some of these kids would that is relevant now and that take in media now, their average age is before 9 to 15 years old. They don't
Yeah,
know who Jada is. Like
yeah,
they don't even
yeah,
know about Juicy. Like
yeah.
so
I
my
can
the
see that.
point the point I'm trying to make is, and I don't want to seem like I'm just beating up on on Jada. What I'm really beating up on the fact is, y'all that people are they're selectively outraged.
Yeah,
Mm.
It's okay for us to be
Hmm.
outraged at a
Yeah.
man,
that's a
but
fancy
all
way
I'm
of saying
saying
double
is
standard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's pretty much it's
yeah,
Yeah.
selective outrage. You can be mad at all these people who rightfully so did some crappy stuff, but she's over here doing this, and if she had a license, it would have she would have lost her medical license. You can't do that, bro. You can't
Yeah.
have sex with your charge. You go to jail for being a psychiatrist and doing that.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
But she
definitely
light skinned and got blonde hair, so it's okay.
yeah, no argument with that. She definitely took advantage of his mind state and his body, man. It's really, again, I mean, like, one of my favorite shows is SVU. And if this was SVU, Olivia Benson would have been all over her ass, because I mean, it's crazy what she did. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It really is, man. Because you took on somebody who was sick in the head, you used them, and then you just toss them to the side, man. That's tough, man.
Yeah.
August could have did something to himself, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Thank God that he didn't.
That's a fact.
But he could have did something to himself. Yeah. He could have legitimately just given up at that point. So that's
without
really
you
tough,
spitting
man.
on his face and telling him sweet nothings and stuff.
And now he got to watch
the macaroni and cheese and shit.
Yeah. She
they actually
kind of. She was riding his dick and whispering in his ear and shit. You don't know what the fuck she was doing, that boy.
No,
because they kind of joked them on the low with them doing the red table talk. They kind of made it seem like, yo, he was really messed up in the head, and we had to set him aside and get what we had to go get done. So that was kind of messed up.
But again, and going back to calling it an entanglement, could you imagine if August? Hopefully, he's in a better mental state. But imagine him still being in a bad mind state and watching that and being called an entanglement when he probably is more in love with her than anybody else in the world. You know what I mean?
And take a pill.
And she probably said, how she was in love with him and shit. Yeah.
August probably got some female family members that want to put their hands on Jada. Let me keep it a buck. They probably ready to fight Jada.
Someone would have pulled up on her. You over here putting that old cougar pussy on the young boy. You don't know what's gonna happen. Then he messing with you, and then you gonna switch back to switch back to Will Smith. Dare I say it? Was it for the clout of being his wife? Was it the legitimacy you get from being? Why did you go back to him?
Right.
Because it's a better situation. I'm sorry. He has more clout than you. August dropped you. You're done.
She had to get that young John real quick and then going back. That's what that was.
Yeah, and this might be a reach on my part. Maybe they signed a prenup upon getting married, so maybe she won't go and get the money she thought she was gonna get if she left Will. So she just stuck around for the bread, because everybody knows Will got way more money than Jada. So I think Will, last I looked, was worth $200 million. I don't think Jada's sniffing over, and I got to fact check this. I don't think she's sniffing over maybe 60.
10.
Maybe that lifestyle is different. Maybe she didn't want to give that up. Who knows? I don't know, man.
Lifestyle is definitely different.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You
so
lose
maybe
your legitimacy if you lose Will. That's a fact.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be harsh about it. Ain't nobody checking for Jada. We ain't been checking for Jada since that little college show. What's the college show called?
I haven't been checking for Jada since Set It Off, to be honest with you.
Yeah, what college show?
What college show called? With Bill Cosby.
Oh,
a
different world. Different world.
That's before my time. Yeah, that's before my boy.
And Shane. She was in Shane too. She was in Shane too.
Yeah, and
but that's
Nutty Professor.
Box office.
She was in Nutty Professor.
She was Nutty Professor?
Yeah, the first one.
I thought that was Janet.
That was the second one.
Yeah, Janet's the second one.
It was Jada the first one.
I gotta go rewatch that.
It was Jada in the first one. She just had she had the long hair and shit. Yeah, it was Jada.
I gotta go rewatch that. But to the point. That's more to the point though.
I don't
I mean, because you gotta think about it like to his point though, because I mean, we know Nia Long. We still checking for Nia Long. We still checking for Megan.
She in the Netflix jump.
We still checking for that shit was trash. We still checking for Gabrielle Union.
Wow.
We still checking for Holly Berry, and Holly older than all of them. I don't think people realize how old Holly. I think Holly might be pushing late 50s,
I think.
Like late 50s, and she's still finding the wine, man. You know what I mean? So we never put the Jadas into that vintage pussy, as Charlemagne say, category. We do Sanaa Lathan. We do. You know what I mean? Hey man, it's the truth. Call it what you want.
It's misogynistic. I mean, you're referring their pussy to a value system like it's a commodity. That's a little misogynistic, though.
Hey, bro. Charlemagne did it, and they ain't canceled him for it, so don't cancel me.
Then you gonna turn around and snitch on Charlemagne? God damn,
He's on record
No.
doing it. What you talking about? He's on record.
Oh
his
shit!
syndicated radio show getting way more views than we probably will yet right now. So,
Right.
I feel like people pay attention. I haven't watched it. I've seen a clip. I've seen the clip that was relevant, but to me, for real, using your personal life as content to me is pathetic. I don't do that. I feel like if you're gonna be a content creator, create content.
right.
And the reason why unless you're a real celebrity, the reason why that really doesn't work is because a relationship is really common, dog. Everybody, I mean, retarded people get in relationships. So it's not a rare piece of content, bro. It isn't. Like, and that's why. And I know
But
we're
you
gonna
need to leave
start
them
talking about
retarded people
marriage
alone.
here. And I mean, I hate to say that, mentally impaired. That's the right way to say
There
that.
you
What
go.
I'm saying is, I don't want to get on y'all because y'all some married cats. I get it, but what I'm saying is, it ain't news.
Right.
It's not news, bro, and it ain't content for real. Cause everybody get married. Everybody
Yeah.
get married. So if your point is to make good content that someone who else is a creator that will actually respect, you have to go into your brain and make good content. If someone go in here and just be like, oh, the life of so and so, and we go to their house and it's their kids and their wife, what? How is that compelling? Like that's everyone do that.
It may not be
It's
compelling,
just not
dog,
compelling.
but they getting the views. They getting the views, man. You got,
Yeah,
I
that's because
mean,
they're
like,
celebrity. They're okay.
no,
That's because
not
they're
even
celebrities. So
celebrities. I mean, I'm talking about it's random couples like your Damos and Chrissy's and all of. They started off as nobodies, and somehow they have just off their
Mhm.
regular lives, they have built channels
Yeah.
of millions and millions of
I don't know who
views.
that is.
That is 6 and 7 algorithm changes ago.
Mm,
That is that a lot of things that popped off in 2011 you can't do now.
true, true.
So I
To
mean
answer your
that
question,
it
D.
did
Raj,
work.
Damo and Chrissy was a gay couple that just vlogged everything. They just did regular shit, but because they were
Mm.
an attractive gay couple, and I think they've actually separated. But I mean, I'm talking, bro. They bought
Which is
bought
another reason I can't stand them.
houses. They bought like I'm talking about nice cars, Mercedes, Benz, off YouTube, dog. Off YouTube,
Oh shit.
like they
Yeah,
making
and you
5, 6, 7 figure incomes off YouTube. So
yeah, that was dope then. That was dope then. But what I'm saying now, if you look up at how many relationship channels there are, it's so many. It's saturated. You got
right,
to come out with something that is something that you thought up that is creative, dude. Is like you gotta be creative. I mean, okay, maybe people don't get the views if that's all you like doing, but I'm gonna
right,
be real. I don't respect it because it's normal. It's like, oh, I woke up today and breathed. Everybody does that.
right. And I think
Why
that
is this
goes
content?
to I think that goes to you know it's enough people in the world where somebody gonna watch it. You know what I mean? I think for
Right.
those people, they don't care if they respect it. They just doing it for a check, man. You know, whether you putting your marriage out there, you rating dick pics, you twerking, you doing whatever. All you care about is numbers. Like all seriousness, all seriousness. We well, no, the joke, the jokes ain't jokes if we never get serious. You know what I'm saying? And serious
Yeah,
business is some people all they care about is numbers. That's how your porn stars are created.
and that
That's how your
okay, that's
exotic
cool.
content
That
is created. They don't care what they have to do on camera. As long as they see this set of numbers, they're gonna do whatever they have to do. That's just what it is.
okay, that doesn't excuse it because people sell children as sex slaves. That doesn't matter. I still don't
Right. I'm not
respect it.
justifying it. I'm
Like
just trying to speak from
it's
their mindset. I'm just trying to speak from their mindset.
okay. Well, that doesn't change the fact that it's like okay. And then another thing too. The other reason why it's stupid because when you separate, what now? What's that white
Yeah.
couple that did it for years and then they separated and then they had to go through court and who owns the channel and all that?
I'm not aware of
Bruh,
them.
make your own freaking content. Stop using your personal life because this is my other thing too. You can't be mad if somebody chimes in on your
Yeah.
personal life if
Yeah.
you are putting your personal life out,
That's why I only do it, but so
right?
much because I can't handle the backlash sometimes. If I do a
Bingo.
bunch of videos with my kid and my wife, I try to limit it. I rarely do it anymore. But any comment of hate towards my family, I can't handle it. I can be honest and tell you that. I'm gonna go the fuck
Yeah.
off. Like, don't talk about my wife. Don't talk about my son. Don't talk about my unborn child. Don't talk about my mama. I'm trying to come find you, put hands on you. I'm just gonna be honest. I can't handle that.
Right.
That's why I
And
don't
there
do it
was
a lot.
a responsible thing. I give you a better one. What is for years I know now I've seen pictures, but how much do you see LL Cool J's wife? Like if you really think about it, how often do
I
you
didn't know
see
he had
her?
a wife.
How often do you
Just like,
how bing, how often do you see Method Man's wife?
yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know LL Cool J was married. I didn't know Snoop Dogg was married. I didn't know Denzel was married. Like, a lot of these
Come on
celebrities,
now.
I didn't know if they was married or not, because they keep them.
Right.
And you know you know what those celebrities have done? They built a catalog off of their talent.
Yeah. Hell, I didn't know Charlamagne
Now,
was married to I read his book.
yeah, I mean I heard him say it, but I don't know what she looks like.
No.
Yeah. Oh no, he doesn't
You
post
know,
her.
I don't know what his
He
feet
doesn't
look
post
like.
her at all. He doesn't post her at all.
Bingo. It's just crazy to do because and not to mention the amount of pedophiles that's on YouTube. That was one of the ad apocalypses. They were
Yeah.
talking about pedophiles were going and they were putting the tags of when the kid was bent over and all this creepy stuff. You don't want to put your children on the internet, bro. Because
Yeah.
come on now, it's not a good situation
I
because
think
I
that
mean that's
might
why
be why YouTube did the you can't put kids on YouTube no more. Your channel will not be monetized. They will. It's almost like a strike to have any type of kid content. Like, they ask you, like, is this for kids? And you have to say no, because if you put yes, you ain't getting a dime for that video.
Right.
yeah, because
You can put your
technically it's
kids on
exploiting
there.
a
You just
child.
can't. It can't be for kids though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because really you're exploiting your kid.
Yeah.
End of the day, you hear me? So I know a lot of people touch on if what I'm when I say I'm celibate and everything like that. And you know, part of that joke is the joke that you shouldn't care
Right.
Yeah.
because I'm
Facts.
not on here to tell you what I'm doing. Number one, it ain't your business. Number two, the persons or person are a whole bunch. I could be a Mac out here. You don't even never know. You know what I'm saying? I am attractive. The persons that I am dealing with do not deserve that type of scrutiny. They didn't come on here to build videos to be seen. So why am I now they gotta deal with that. They don't want to deal with that. They just want to go and be regular. So I
Right.
don't put it on there. But everybody else do. Then they be mad when someone say your old lady like a chupa loopa. Now you're pissed off. What you pissed off for?
No, I just block them,
You put
delete and
out
block
there.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I can respect now. And this isn't a shot. I guess I gotta preface this by saying, but like a channel like Frenchie and Red, where they don't show their face, I can understand it. I can understand it. You don't want to have to deal with the whatever backlash that someone may say about, because especially when you are coming up here and you're talking a lot of
That's
shit.
why I don't respect it.
Oh,
That's
you
why I
don't
don't
respect it.
respect it
Oh,
because
because they
I don't respect that action. It is a strategically sound action, but you tear other people down in a
yeah.
visceral way, and you can't take it.
You
So
and your
you
wife.
don't show.
That
So you
that's
don't show
that's the
yourself.
that's the crazy thing to me. And when I had a back and forth with him, I said, "Look, man, your wife talk a lot of smack, but my spirit won't allow me to speak that way towards a woman. But your wife talks a lot of smack, man.
Oh, big time, bro. Big time.
If not more.
And the thing is, you can't say nothing because now you saying something ignorant about a woman. But what I will say, if you can come on and call people ugly, tell a personal
Yeah,
business, all that, all right, then why y'all ain't on the screen? To me, it's
yeah,
that's some that's not cool. It's not fair.
yeah,
But I mean, it is what it is, man. People do what they
Yeah.
gonna do. I'm not mad at them or anything like that. I'm just saying that I disagree with that decision, as they have disagreed with the decisions that I've made.
Yeah. And this time, sometimes I'll be like, man, it would be so great to nobody know who I am, but still
oh
have
yeah,
the same
oh
content.
yeah,
It's
oh yeah, oh
sometimes,
yeah,
but on the YouTube, so they tell you, unless you got some real content you can come up with, not showing your face, your channel not gonna grow.
yeah,
So you got to
I
show your
always willing
face.
to show my face because I looked at it like I'm gonna have to stand on whatever I say. I've been
yeah,
out here
Right.
for 8 years riding around by myself, and it is what it is. And y'all know I done had a couple of heated back and forths, and I
Right.
done ran into a couple of people. And I'm
Right.
be
yeah.
real, they ain't as heated as they is online. Not
Never.
That's a
me.
fact. We've seen
ever,
it on. We've seen
ever,
it.
ever, never, ever.
And
Man,
I'll
ever.
always get this. You bigger than I thought you was. How big you think I was?
Yeah.
Why did that
I had
matter?
a I I had a dude that I blocked run up on me at the Loves in Covington, Virginia. He was like, "Yeah, man, you blocked me, man." You know, I was like, "Okay." He was like, "Man, it's all good though, man. I just wasn't even trying to be like, it's the energy is night and day." And I'm not no
Completely
tough guy,
different.
so don't take this as me trying to, I ain't Mike Tyson, I ain't, what I mean, Mark Henry gonna whoop your ass. But I'm just saying, bro, like the energy is ridiculously different. I mean, oh my god.
Right.
Why would D Rise come on here, make a business for himself, make money, move his old lady out the hood, put her in the house? They eating well, eating fruits and berry juice and all that crap. And they doing
Yeah.
that. And then he throw all that away to beat up somebody at love.
Oh no, no, no.
See, now
Mm-mm.
this goes to now y'all this gonna go left because y'all know how I am. This
Come on.
goes to the cornerstone and the root of sugar cooning, jigabooing, marmalade scooping. This is what
Explain that.
happens.
Explain that. Explain that for the new people, because you say it a lot, and you may have a lot of people who might not know exactly what you mean when you say those phrases. So break that down for us, please, if you be so kind.
All right, jigabooing, cooning. When I say that, a coon is some in our sector. The way you can find a coon is if they come on here and all they do is tear people down, and all the people they tearing down look just like them.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Now, what I want to know is if you come on here to tear people down, why you don't tear the white boy down?
Mm,
You
mm,
only think about this. You
mm.
only tear niggas down, right? You only have exposed videos about Negroes. Like, the white boys ain't even there, and it's probably more of their channels than ours. Now, this
And
is
they
this
get
another
way
funny
dirtier
thing
than
too.
us.
And the white boys ain't scared to call you all type and call y'all out. And when they do it, y'all don't even respond. Everybody quiet,
Right.
jigabooing, marmalade scooping, sugar shaking. That's all it is. And do you know why?
Preach.
The average of the guys who claim on here that are average hood nigga and street nigga
Mm.
fear and love white people.
Why?
It's I guess you can call it from slavery. Think about it, because if they had a light skinned kid, they'll like that one more. It's what my granddaddy said. White ice is colder. They feel like if
Mm.
they see a white person, they're legitimate.
Mm.
So if I did taxes and a white man did taxes, who you think a nigga gonna go to? Well,
Yeah.
I know the white man know what he doing. How do you know?
Yeah. It's
You
funny
hear
because
me? So
it's like a meme that explains that as well. It's a I think it say you go to the white man store, the Indian store, the Pakistan store, and then the black man store, and they all got the same price, and they cool with everybody price except the black man.
Yeah.
damn man, why you charging so much? You should give me some free 99. Now
Right.
peep game. When it comes down to it, and it's time to lock horns with these white creators, all the Negroes quiet. I'm the only one talking. I'm the only one say so and so a racist when all of us knew it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Why is this? It's because it's sugar cooning. It's like, and then the other one, they'll come in and they act all cool with them. Listen, bro, if you are something and I'm gonna address it, I'm gonna address it. I don't care if you white, pink, or green. It is what it is. But they don't feel that way. But when let Jay quit a job, it's
Woo,
97 videos.
woo. Come on, Pastor. I'm about to start shouting.
Jay, Jay
I'm about,
fat. I even heard one that made me laugh a little bit. Jay, you gonna have to forgive me. They called Jay, said Jay look like a lesbian.
yeah, oh yeah. I get it all the time, bro.
I'm like,
I get it all the time. I done heard
first
it
of
all, bro.
first,
I get it all the
first
time.
of all,
Especially started growing my
first of
when I started
all,
growing my hair. Oh man, forget about it.
first of all,
Forget
that's hilarious. But at the same time, they over here calling y'all don't ever be that visceral with your white counterparts. Why is that? Because you're not scared of the repercussions that comes from another black person, and you think the white people are legitimate. Be real. You
Mm.
scared of them. That's why a nigga can kill 10 niggas in the hood, and when a cop pull up, he put his hands on his head and get on the ground.
D-Ron,
Why you
let's
get
go
on the
back
ground
to
and
that
kill 10 niggas?
conversation we was having. They think that they have power over them.
Right. That's a
Think them
fact.
white folk
I
got
mean,
power over them.
if you worship a God that don't look like you, I'll leave it at that. The point is this. The
Yeah.
point is this at the end of the day. Stop sugarcoating it. And yes, I say that a lot because it's relevant. It's prevalent. If you come on your platform just to drink alcohol and say you're drinking alcohol and laugh about it like it's something to be showing the young drivers, that's cooning. I'm sorry, it's what it is.
Yeah. Now that you have broken it down like that, makes perfect sense. Makes perfect
Right.
sense.
It's perfect
Right.
sense. Then D
That's
Rod,
all.
he a
That's
punk ass
the
nigga because he with his kids and he built a business. And he's
yeah.
a bitch. He ain't a real street nigga. What he
Yeah.
got to be a street nigga for? This ain't
Yeah.
about being a street nigga.
But
At all.
and the sad part, man, they gonna get mad at me, but I don't care, man. That's 95% of black YouTube truckers. That's
Mm,
95%, man.
mm.
That's
That we know
95%.
of.
Let me tell you
No,
how it was in
that's
the street.
95% of black YouTubers, period. That we know of, that we don't, because there's people out there that we don't even know exist that's talking about us.
Yeah. It'd be funny. You
And
look up
Corey,
people making videos like, what the hell they talking about?
Yeah, I've run into videos of channels I never knew existed, and it's a diss video to me, and I'm like, oh, the fuck, okay. Like
Right.
I don't even know, like, bro,
Yeah.
you in fucking Dallas, Texas, or Nevada in Las Vegas or Southern California, and I've never met you. Especially when you go off the fact that a lot of these trolls are YouTubers that I feel like we know, but that's another subject for another day. So it's just like, bro, I don't know you that much. Like, I don't have enough information to hate you the way that you hate me.
Right.
It's crazy. Like,
well,
I always was
there is a
taught,
there's a mathematical equation to trolling. So there is a legitimate mathematical reason why they do it. Because if you can't create your own content and you got 1,000 subs, and then or 3,000 subs, and then you shoot at the Big Beezy, and I say something back, now you got 6,000 subs
yeah,
because you're saying my name in front of 3,000 people. I'm saying
yeah,
your name in front of 60,000, 70,000 people. So that's why they poke at people who are bigger than them because it's a way to climb without working.
Yeah.
yeah,
You gotta work. And then what they found out is that when you do that, all you're gonna do is make a whole. People may sub to it, but they're only watching when you're clowning Jay or D Raj or somebody. You have to keep doing it. You can't. All right. Well, now I did that. Let me tell you what I really care about. Then they're not gonna watch
Right.
it
Right. Right.
because they're here for what? The marmalade scooping, the sugar
The
shaking.
drama.
That's why they got here.
yeah.
Right.
You got to keep cooning. Ain't
Yeah.
stop cooning. It's a lifetime membership.
Yeah.
Shit crazy, man.
And if you
It's
and
sad,
listen,
man.
and if you reference them for real, while their wife's light skinned it. I digress.
Hold on, I'm thinking. Damn. Hold on. Give me a second. That is insane.
Now that could be a coincidence. I'm
No,
just
not at
saying.
all. Not at all. That is wow. I mean, you say light
I'm just
skinned,
saying.
but I mean, 50% of that is white.
I ain't gonna get into all that. All I'm saying is that they are light complected. And another thing too is another thing they had a problem with was us having dreads. Wow,
Oh
all of them
yeah,
got dreads.
Yeah.
yeah,
Man,
All they
well, get your
blackness
hair
hanging.
retwisted or cut it off. Cut your beard. Like, what are you worried about this
Yeah.
for? Why?
wow. That's sad,
Because you
man.
know why? Because that says I am proud of my blackness. Look, I didn't perm it. I even made it a hairstyle. So why are you being
Right.
happy about something
Yeah,
that you should hate? Is how they're
Right.
looking at it.
Right.
That don't make
That's
sense. You
just
should be hating the way your hair looks. Why are you
right.
insinuating and pointing it out?
Yeah.
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 But y'all don't be knowing. Y'all don't be knowing. Y'all don't
Oh,
be
I be knowing.
trying to hear me
I
for
be
nothing. That's
watching.
why I don't say nothing.
Again,
No, I be quiet.
I again, man, like you said, I'm trying to build a business, man. So I stay away from it. So I may poke here and there, but other than that,
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Man, I
hey,
just I always respond, but they just call me emotional. So they call me
hey,
emotional. They
bro,
call me sensitive. So it's
I call it
crazy, man.
networking.
Listen,
Networking, yeah. All
I
right.
the reason I feel
What
that is
size shoes you
funny.
put on when you start networking?
About 13.
Shoot.
I mean, I feel like it's one of them situations where you have to. Okay, when you're born, your cousins and stuff, you can't pick them, right? You
Right.
can't
At
pick your
all.
brothers and your cousins and your aunties, and we know 80% of them jiggling. I know they is in my family.
Yeah.
I mean,
Same.
they just is, dog. Cause I mean, cause you got aunties, you don't know what type of hair they got. They perm that sucker every 2 weeks.
Right.
Let's be real. Now, peep game. As you get to an adult, you should have the gift of discernment or the understanding that hold on, I can pick my crowd now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So if you go out and get the same type of friends as you had to grow up with, that means you did not grow.
Right.
At all.
You didn't grow. You hang around the same cats, bro. For what?
Yeah.
Well, these is who I know. But I mean, what are you gonna learn from them? I don't want to be the smartest person in the group.
Right.
Facts.
I don't.
Facts.
Yeah. When
But
I
they'll
got
make a
my
channel and only attract jigabooing.
Yeah.
when I got my
And
master's degree, I had to leave some friends behind, man, because
but,
I was moving on.
but they hate you for that though. They
Yeah.
hate you for that. One of the
Fuck them.
main reasons why, like, I became tried to become so close to UTB, and why me and D Raj has become so close for that very reason. Like what was around me, and now I'm talking to this dude that's talking this type of shit and moving like this, and it's just like, wait a minute, I'm not used to this in 757. But when you attempt to try to grow and you try to move away, they hate you. Like, bro, I'm talking about hate like a deep hate. Like they
Yeah.
hate you to their soul for that, bro. That
Yeah.
and it's crazy, bro. It hurt because it's people that you love, that you got genuine love for, and they hate you for trying to grow. Like,
And
huh?
that's why you supposed to move.
Pose
That's
the
why
Yeah,
you ain't
move.
supposed to be there.
yeah.
Pose
You
the
supposed to
move.
Hey,
move.
I hear you, D.
So
Raj.
that
I
Lord.
hear you. I hear
Yeah.
you, D.
Say, hey,
Raj.
T, can
you
you say
supposed
that again for the people in the back? I couldn't hear you.
you're
I hear you in the
supposed
back.
to
I hear you
move.
in the back.
That is listen,
Man,
this
he been
is
trying to get me to
why
move out of
the
the
people
757 for so long.
listen, this is why people in the military they end up doing well because what does the military do? First thing, you got to go. You got to
Relocate.
move.
Take you out. Yeah.
Relocate.
I'm a station you 7 states away. And then
Yeah.
and you in the military for 4, 5, 6, 10 years, you come back, you're not about to reassimilate to that way of living. No, I'm not living like
Nah.
that.
Nah.
So
Whatsoever.
it's simple as that. You're there because it's comfortable.
Trucking
Yeah.
does it in a way too. I mean, think about when you go to trucking school. If you go through a company sponsored program, they may have a school down the street, but they sending you to Utah. They sending you to Cedar Rapids, Iowa. They sending you at least 3 states away for training. Because if you went,
Yeah.
Hmm
if I ain't gonna lie, if I would have did CDL training with CRST in Hampton or Newport News, Virginia, I might not have finished school. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
That's a fact. That's a
I
fact.
might not have
But
finished
see,
So the
school.
first
well, I had my school was 5 minutes from my house. I
Mm.
finished, and
not
I
mine.
But
finished
you
in two
you
and a half
you went
weeks.
in at an older age though. You were already in your 30s. You were already
True.
mature. You were all you know what I mean. I was 24, touching 25. So I would have went back. I would have went back to the lifestyle. You know what I mean. I would have went back to the lifestyle that I came from if it was right down the street. So I'm
Mm.
glad
And my
CRST put me on a 60-hour bus ride.
yeah, I mean, because it's one of them things you get to see somewhere else. And right now, I be trying to hike and camp, and it's a real fear. And this is the stupid part of that though. I get out there and I'm thinking about wolves and werewolves and vampires and all this shit is getting dark. But I
Right.
will walk down the street in Norfolk, Virginia, whistling Dixie in the middle of the night.
And you more
How?
likely get killed
How?
on tide water than you is in the woods.
And that's exactly where I'm from too, Tidewater. I
Yeah.
walk down
Right.
Tidewater Drive, go to the corner store, people hanging out there, give me something to drink. All right, I holler at y'all, walk past the projects,
Yeah.
right through there,
Facts.
and go home,
Facts.
close the door, and sleep like a baby.
Right. Right.
And you round legit murderers, dog. Like, and they're not
Yeah.
people who playing
Yeah.
around.
That's
And
Yeah.
crazy.
but we ain't scared of that. But then if I take you out to, all right, man, we gonna sleep in we gonna put some tents out here and sleep out here. You couldn't even sleep. You scared of
Yeah.
something gonna get you.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes,
That's how I
ticks.
feel. That's how I feel when I go to the West Coast sometimes, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. When I go out west, and like the Nevadas, the Californias, the Oregons, and Washingtons, and I get on them back roads, I'd be scared out there, man. I'll be honest. I'd be vulnerable. Or not scared, anxious. But I'm from, Newsom Park, Newman News, Tidewater, down there by the Burger King and the Econ Lodge and all that. I go out there and be out there at 3 in the morning and be, not even sober, And so I'm in a state where I'm not even able to be fully aware of my surroundings in my younger days, you know what I'm saying? And be comfortable. Whereas out there, I'm out there making money, and ain't nobody out there think about Jay in this truck with the APU. And you know what I mean? So it's
nobody even thinking about you. You close the shade, they don't need no in there. But you'll
Yeah.
go out a place that we've named Bad News. I mean, that's the literal hood name for it.
Bad news.
But you out
bad
there
news, baby.
drunk
I
and
be
chilling.
out there cooling, chilling. I don't care in the world, boy.
Everything cool. But that's why I say it, man. You got to understand the original doctrine of jigabooing, because there's a legit written scroll to cooning. There's a scroll. Listen, you will be, if you are a rapper, you will be promoted if you're talking about things that will not help your community. If you come out here and start speaking some knowledge, you ain't getting no spins, bro. Because that's how it's set up. And the thing is, black people won't listen to you.
No.
They will not listen to you. If you come on here really speaking some knowledge, you're not about to get no views. But if I make a diss track for you and a diss track for D-Raj, I get all the views in the world.
Yeah.
So now it positively reinforces me tearing you down. All right, well, I'm gonna keep poking at Jay because I'm getting views doing it. It's sad, bro. It's really deep and sad for someone to hate me. And I know I done pulled a lot of cats out of poverty with talking on here. Ain't no way you ain't gonna tell me I didn't.
Right.
And they hate me like I done lied about something. What I lie about?
Yeah.
What did I lie about? You gonna come out here and make money? You ain't gonna get a bunch of pussy. Did I lie?
Yeah.
No.
They hate you. They hate you because you're different, man. That's all.
They hate me because I'm winning and I'm popping, and they can't catch me
Yeah.
because they're jigabooing. And jigabooing is a small fraction of the situation. You're not gonna get that far. Call it what it is. Now, another question I want to talk to y'all about, because I want to hear about. I think both of y'all got this situation, and it's something I probably disagree with. Women not working and being at home wives.
Go ahead. What's your question? Oh, was that it?
Now, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna let y'all explain it.
Are you gonna let me go first?
Now, I feel like D-Rod should go first. I really
Okay,
feel
go
like
ahead,
D-Rod should speak.
Go ahead, D-Rod, go first.
Well, I feel
This
okay.
gonna be good. This gonna be good.
Now I already feel woman is God. Okay, so we just gonna start with that.
Oh,
no, I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah, I am God because a woman created me. I was created in her image, right?
I can't with you tonight. Go and get to the point.
Anyway. So,
no, we're not even gonna get in that fight. So we.
But you praise
everybody
Jesus.
God. Everybody God.
You got God is greater.
You get a God.
So, what that God on your shirt? How is he greater or she? I don't know.
Hey man, we ain't getting no sponsorship for this shirt. So answer the damn question.
Oh, okay. Anyway. Anyway, so
he wants that fight so bad. He wants that fight, though. Like,
yes, he aching for it, man.
But anyway, I'm definitely a believer, especially in a marriage, that the woman should stay home because I want to make sure that my children grow up with our values, our family values. I don't want no public school, other kids, other people raising my children. And if you look at, there's nothing a man can do for a baby when it's first born. There's nothing we can do. A woman can nurture and feed the baby up to 2 years, even 3. So if that's the case, why is she out working? She don't need to be working. And if you look at it, again, we went to a past episode where we talked about the black family taking the man out, and now you have issues with the children because the father isn't there. So even though I'm on the road, because people, they try to see your deadbeat for not being home, but I am still involved in my children's life, and they see a positive relationship between two people. So they can grow off of that, and then they can see how our family values
go
are.
after her own career, though? Why can't
Oh
she go
no,
after her own career?
she definitely can do that. But you got this, again, we have to be honest about the situation. Her number one priority is to raise those children.
Facts.
That's the number one. That is what that is. If we couldn't go to work no more, one thing that women can always do is have babies.
Facts.
So now again with my wife and people, because people will say you're so controlling. It's not that. My wife and I agreed that this is what we're going to do. Second of all, I can bring my wife in here and be like, honey, you want to go to work? And she'll tell you no. She looks at people like us and women that work. She laugh at us, especially women. She like, oh, why y'all going to work? You know what I'm saying? And it was one time I sent her a picture of these women doing a yoga class or something with their babies clamped on. And I said, baby, where the black women at? She laughed and said, oh, they at work. They at work. You know what I'm saying? So it's she don't do that.
Cutting deep right now, D-Raj. Like,
It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth.
so are
Tell
you
me why I'm lying.
saying you don't have? So you saying you don't have respect for women that work with kids?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said women with kids should be home. That's your again. Think about it. That's your number one priority. Your children, especially if you're in a marriage, if you're in a relationship, the man that you laid down with or married should be able to take care of you and your children. Is that not right?
You go
Now
ahead on
again,
here.
no.
Jay,
First of all,
I ain't
because
ready to jump in this.
I want people to know. Because when women that got jobs and stuff, they be like they independent and all this stuff. That's not an independent woman to me. A woman
Oh, you
such
are
as my
touching
wife,
the independent women now.
though
Oh,
a
yeah.
woman such as my wife, okay, she trusts me enough to where she won't work, and I go out and make sure everything is taken care of because she knows at the drop of a hat she can do whatever she need to do. My wife has her master's degree. I think in education, she got her bachelor's in physics and chemistry or something like that. So she can go out here and make some money if she wants to. But and she know that if anything happens to my husband, I can take over it just like that. And again, the looking at my children and how smart and intelligent and focused they are, I love it. The things that they do, we are not slaves, and that's one of the reasons I like OTR. We are not slaves to the system. We do what we want to do when we want to do it. But if my wife worked, she call another man boss. Hey, boss, can I go? No, ain't nobody doing this shit. So now we
Now hold
definitely ain't
on,
doing that.
Jay. Hold on, Jay. Don't your old lady work?
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Dun dun
No.
dun.
I'm waiting. Hey, bro, I'm waiting patiently.
Oh, you'll go.
Okay. First of all, let me say that I agree with everything that D-Rod said, but I want to try to come at it from a different angle. Okay. D-Rod is the one that introduced this mindset to me, but I didn't want to just take it and just do it because D-Rod said do it, because that's what people think I do anyways with you and TV. But what I will say, one of the main reasons why I do enjoy my wife being a stay-at-home mom is money. It may have changed recently, but one of, if not the number one reason for divorces in this country is finances. Not cheating, not abuse, not different religious views, is money. And with me being the sole provider, money arguments are non-existent. Non-existent. Now, some people are going to say, "Oh, you're a control freak. That means you're immature. You can't handle her making money." No, it's just a less complicated situation. I am blessed to be in an industry when I'm OTR that I make more than enough, almost 3 times, to take care of all finances, save money, and invest. without
OTR.
her having to. Yeah, I had to specify that because we're not even gonna open the door for the OTR local shit.
Now
Okay.
he's just in local cats. Now he's just in local.
We're not even gonna do that. We're not even gonna do that. But
Right.
I am blessed to be in a position where I can do all that myself, to where she can get full energy to the point where now we have decided to homeschool my kids. You know what I mean? Because and we talked about a little bit last episode as well. We have seen firsthand with her running her babysitting service, even as a mom that's working from home, she had no hours left for her son. You know, you would think working from home that, okay, she's going to run the daycare and she's going to raise our son. She had no hours for him. He became another kid, a part of the daycare. You know what I mean? So he didn't get that specific time that is needed. Not an opinion, is needed for kids. My son has, doctors will probably say he has ADHD. And I believe that ADHD is bullshit. ADHD is your kid requires a certain amount of attention from you at home, and you don't have the time to give it to them. So they have all this energy left to go to school and run amok. That to me is what ADHD is. You know what I'm saying? So I just think for those reasons, I think I'm not going to tell you not for your wife to work, because if you are in a financial situation as a man where you can't handle it, then maybe you need assistance. But I may be I'm just a different breed. I am blessed enough to be in a situation where my wife does not have to work, and she can put that energy towards the things that we hold more valuable than money, which is development of our children, which is quality time, and not arguing over money like damn near every other family member that I have, friend that I have, or anybody that's married that I know deals with. Period.
I will say, I'll speak on this.
He about to say something crazy.
I'm ready.
The original, but
yeah, you gonna lose this.
I will say that more men would be able to do that if they practice something that we don't have in our sector of society, which is modesty. What do I mean by that, TB? Your salary of $60,000 a year would be enough to take care of everything you need to take care of if you chose a modest car, a modest house.
Yes.
If you looked at the bills inside the house modestly, the clothes modestly, if you looked at it like that, 60 grand a year is okay. How do I say that? Sean, how do you say that? Honda, Toyota, Ford, and Chevy all have car models for $13,000 brand new. I mean, brand new. And a person would say, well, a new car, $30,000. No, it is not. No, it's not. If you
for me, it would be. I got 3.
Why for you it would be?
I got 3.
What?
Kids.
Okay. Well, you can get a 3-year-old Dodge Voyager van for 19 grand.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You can do that.
Not no van,
or you can get a Toyota Sequoia, which has a third row seat and seats 8 people, 8 grown-ups.
Right.
You can get that 5-6 years old for 7 grand.
Right.
But the problem is that instead of going and saying, all right, well, my old lady's home with a kid, I'm gonna go get her a Ford Fiesta for $16,000 and a $97 a month payment to stay modest, and she gets everywhere she needs to go, AC, good crash test, and everything. We don't do that. We go and get a Hemi Charger or whatever people go get.
Right.
Okay. So it's one of them things where you have to practice modesty. Now, if a woman is in a position where she says, I don't feel complacent without working on my career, I do not think it's wrong for her to do it. Now, that's where I may differ from y'all. If she says, listen, I want to pursue my career, I believe she should be able to freaking do that. Everything is 7 ways to skin a cat.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
So
I
agree with that.
Well, that makes no sense. I'm sorry, most people doing it, and it can be done. It may not to be done, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not only one way of doing it. Now, the women that are out here working on the road that may have a kid back home, I don't know their situation, and whatever their situation is, and they probably was with somebody who could not do what needed to be done, and they had to take the mantle up and do what they had to do to provide. I'm sorry, to me that is commendable.
No, no, no.
Because what I call
let
it
me.
is taking responsibility for
Right.
doing whatever happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's. I don't want to get. I don't want to get what I'm saying confused. I'm not condemning. I'm not disrespecting. I'm not
Yeah.
knocking
No.
any situation, because yes, you are right. There aren't a lot of men like us left in 2020. However, if we're talking about preference, we're saying that we prefer our situations the way. But we know that in reality, there are different situations. Women sometimes has to be the men, unfortunately, which is that could lead to 1,000 different topics that we'll get into one day. But in a situation when you have the choice, I would choose my situation 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
But
Because
for those that
a lot
have
of women,
to do with that, you got to do what you got to do at the end of the day.
yeah, for a lot of women, they forget though. You can choose. If you choose your career, but you have children, your first priority is your children. So if you're in a marriage, women have to understand that's your first priority. If we're going to be in a relationship, we choose to have a child, and you want to do your career, trust and believe your number one priority is going to be that child. If you don't think that, now we have a problem. Yeah, but again, that's your number one duty.
But okay, I got a question for you then, because I gotta, I see what you come. I believe what you believe, but you got to play the other side. What would you say to two women who get married and have kids?
I don't believe in that.
I understand that, but what would you say to that though?
So who's the man then?
I don't know. Pick one. Pick one.
Okay, so whoever chooses to be the man, you go to work. Whoever wants to stay the woman.
Y'all are fucking.
I mean, what? I can't. How am I supposed to answer that? I don't know.
First of all, hold on. Stop. You're talking about if two women get married.
Correct.
Two women, when they get married, they don't decide one's the man and one's not. That is very offensive. That's not how that works.
Hey, I have no idea how they do that. So I can only go off my perception.
I'm telling you that.
Okay, well,
they
look,
don't do that.
here we go.
That.
Rewind back.
I'm the man.
Hey, look, they choose who's going to go to work.
Nazi. Bro, you are
who's going to go to work? Who's going to stay home? Okay. I mean, come on, man. This again, if we're going to be honest and take the gloves off, okay?
Right.
50% of those relationships like that, one is more masculine than the other, right?
I don't know. I learned my
from
lesson.
From what I've seen,
I would say from what you see, yeah, one is more masculine than the other, but it still would be disrespectful to be like, unless they want to identify as a man,
right?
But really, how they do it is,
how can it be disrespectful for me to say something that, from what my opinion is, how is that disrespectful?
That's America.
I mean, people get disrespected in that way all the time, bro.
Yeah,
because America's sensitive. Yeah, because America's sensitive and always want to be politically correct.
I mean, but that's just like somebody coming and saying that.
Like that is,
yeah, I'm about to say that, hey, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you was white, you would already be canceled. You'd already be canceled.
Yeah, you.
If your pigmentation was a little lighter, you'd be out of here.
I have said nothing wrong. I have said nothing wrong.
You have, bro. You have. Yeah.
Dude,
what have I said wrong?
You have basically, I'm about to tell you. Basically, what you said is that even though they're two lesbians, they still have to pick a gender.
No. I did not say that. I did not say that. I did not say that.
Going to be the man. That's exactly what you said.
Yeah. By you saying that one of them has to be the man is implying that they have to think and move the way that you think and move.
I brought it back and said whoever's going to go to work, who's going to stay home. I did correct that. I said, okay, I'm not going to say who's going to be the man. I said who's going to go to work, who's going to stay home with the child.
Mm-hmm. And they would decide that between themselves. Most likely, who has the most lucrative job is probably the one that's going to get to go.
Right. And again, that child will be better off if one goes to work and one stays home, regardless. And even if you want to switch it over to the other side, if one goes to work, one stays home, we're good.
So if your wife decided to use her master's degree and got a job that dwarfs your income, would you stay home?
Not for my third child, but for the babies that are older now, of course. But again, I can do
Why not
nothing.
for the third one?
I can't do nothing for him. I don't have breast milk.
That's not true. That's not true. Two men adopt infants all the time. I mean, then
And
you're
it,
saying they shouldn't adopt infants.
Oh, please don't
but
get him
but
started.
again, now you're giving the baby formula, which they shouldn't be drinking, right?
But can't she pump milk before she leaves? And you leave it in
Yeah,
the
but
fridge and
we
feed her
want
with
it to
breast milk?
be for me and my wife, we want it to be as natural as possible. For all three of my children, we have no bottles, no pumping, straight breasts.
Okay, the baby gets onto solid food. Would you stay home?
Yeah, if that's what we agree with. What? Why
You
would I not
lying,
stay
bro. You're
home?
not about to stay home, dog. Why you lying?
What you
So
mean?
you gonna
Because
stay
I
home?
mean, if I can run my business from the house, yeah, why not?
No, we ain't talking about. Are you gonna be the at-home parent? Don't work like you want her to do, because she ain't running no business, and your
Hmm.
job is to watch them kids, no income. Would you do it?
I would, but my wife and I that would never happen. But if I had to do that, I would do it.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. I don't think I could do that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I could do it
Why not?
Why not, Jay? Why not?
because there's just certain things that women do as mothers that we could never do as fathers. Like, I
That's what I'm
just,
saying. Breastfeeding, yeah, but once the child gets old enough where, because both of my two kids are potty trained, okay.
I'm not even talking about physically. I'm just talking about. I think it's because I think that women have more patience. They have more. They are more capable of bonding emotionally with children. Like I don't know. This is my opinion. So if I offend
Right.
anybody, I'm sorry. But I
Oh,
just
now,
don't see.
oh, right.
Hey, I'm the guy. I'm just saying. Like I just don't like
But
watching with
again,
my
you got to
watching with.
understand when you come back home, you got to do your
If
motherly duties.
hold on. If that's the case, if women can have something that men don't have with kids, why are the single mothers have all of these dysfunctional kids in a ghetto neighborhood?
Mm.
No, it's
Why
different though
is most of
because
the
go ahead.
prison to pipeline is mostly single mothers? So I want to
Because
know
hold on,
why you think they're more equipped.
we were talking about reversing roles. We weren't talking about removing one. That's a different topic.
Mm.
So
Okay.
the mother and
I
father
agree.
is still present, is what we were talking about. We never said anything about
But how
removing a
but
parent.
how are they still present if she goes to work and is gone 8 hours of the day,
Uh
and
huh.
she comes home? You've
Uh
cooked a
huh.
meal in your apron, I'm assuming,
Okay. Yeah. Look, I'm
right?
rolling.
And
No, I'm
she
rolling.
and okay. Now
I'm
she
rolling.
sit down to eat your stir fry succotash, because that's what Jay knows how to make.
Yeah. Come
And
on.
after she eats that, she's gonna watch TV, shake the
Hmm.
kid's hand a few times, sleep.
Yeah.
She's done. So how is
Right.
that even? That's why. How is that even present? That's not, to me. That's not present.
I'm not saying that it's something that happens a lot, but I'm just saying like it
Hmm.
is out there. I think that it is out there. It might be a just back to like when we joked about the local versus OTR. A local oversized load may not happen a lot, but it's still there. But what you changed it to, you changed the subject matter by saying a single mother. That's completely different. Single mother,
Yeah,
single
but
father.
I turned it into that because you said it's something that a woman has that a man can't do. So
Mm.
I went to an example of a woman being there and a man not being in the equation. And what I'm saying is that is relevant. That's a woman, and
Okay.
there's no man there.
So
So
with your
if they
prison,
have the
with
extra
your
X factor, then why do their kids come out fucked up?
so because it's just what I speak on when I say something that women does for the children. That was my thought process was still with the father contributing in the background. That was the thought process. I didn't think I need to verbalize it,
Mm.
but so I believe that with
Well,
my
you
wife
definitely
and
will
my
have to verbalize it because there's examples that proves that
okay, I'll do better.
it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
better.
yeah.
So
Okay,
you're
okay.
definitely going to verbalize it.
So with my wife and my son, it's certain things that she gonna do with him to where he's gonna be fine. But it comes a point randomly, and I'm sure D-Wise can speak this. Talk about, I'm sure you can speak to this. To where as a father, you got to step in like, look, bro, like what's up? You know, it's more so towards disciplinary action. You know, with a woman and a son. You know what I mean? A mom disciplining her son and a father disciplining his son, and that's not to, again, not defend any woman, but it's different. Let's just call it.
Oh, you defend, hey, bro, you offending the mess out of it, bro.
Well,
Good
then she
gracious,
gonna
what
be
you saying?
offended.
Women can't,
It's different.
you can't,
It's different.
women can't
Part of the reason
discipline their children?
hey man, I'm speaking from personal experience. Part of the main reason why I probably didn't go from that school to prison pipeline is because of my two uncles and my granddad. If it was just my mom, we probably wouldn't even be talking right now. I'd probably be in and out of somebody's regional correctional facility. But because my uncles and my granddad stepped in on a disciplinary type action, I am what I am now. You feel what I'm saying? So there is a difference when it comes to, you know, having that mom up front on the front lines and the dad in the background. You feel what I'm saying? Versus that single mother that doesn't have that male figure in the background to back her up, if you will. You feel what I'm saying? So to make it a simpler term, Kobe ain't winning them 5 championships without Shaq and vice versa. Period.
Right.
That's
so
true, but Shaq's
TB
father wasn't there, and so that means Shaq is still Shaq.
Say again.
LeBron's daddy
Shaq's
won't
father
there either.
wasn't there. LeBron daddy wasn't there, and he made Motorcopa, so I'm confused.
I'm referring to Shaq and Kobe as Shaq being the mom and Kobe being the dad, or vice versa. They needed each other to win those championships. That's what the point I was making.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. What I will say is I don't think the lines are that clear because the way that y'all speak is to me it is to me it's general. I think that it can be done in many different ways. I don't think I'm not as what's the good word, as drilled in like that where it's like, it should be this way, it should be that way. I feel like, it could be many ways and it still be a successful situation. But you have a right to your opinion and everything like that because there's many variables that you can throw in there, and there's many
Right.
successful people with all different type of families and all
Yes.
that type of stuff. There's many people who are out here who are very, very even, and it's good. There's many people out here who have both parents in the house and 3 of them are successful and 2 of them not. Like, so it's like it's
Right.
one of them situations where all you can do is hope for the best, because technically you could have gave birth to a serial killer no matter who in the house.
Right.
But what I
Right.
will say is, in this day and age with the materialism, because really the root of even having this discussion where someone needs to leave the house and you can't live on one income is because of materialism. The amount of materials that we want brings the bills up to a point where 2 people need to work.
Facts.
And the
That is a
only
fact.
reason why so now, since you go to an average household, there's 2 car notes. There's a house that's obviously too big. There's a huge house and 30% of the house ain't even being used. You're heating and cooling it. Everybody's dressing new digs, brand new TVs, all this other stuff, trips you really can't afford, credit card supplement
Daycare.
income, and
all
then
this.
and then they'll turn around and say, well, we both got to work. We can't afford not to. You can't afford not to because at the beginning you did not practice modesty,
Right.
especially Negroes.
Right.
You don't have to have an Escalade to carry your children to school. You just don't have to have it.
Nah. You gotta have the enclave though.
At the
You
end of
gotta
the
get down
day,
there.
you definitely
But I
don't need
think
an enclave. You
I think
definitely can
that's
go get a Honda
because
Fit and carry them kids to school. 3 kids, hold on one second. 3 kids can sit neck to neck in one back seat. Let's be real.
Yeah, but
We gonna
we need room.
see,
Okay.
no, you don't need. See, there it goes again. You don't need room. You want room. That's a luxury because you
Yeah.
can raise your kids and all 3 of them sit on the back seat like we did.
You got that right.
And they'll be fine.
But I work hard to make sure my kids got room.
Problem right there. You see it, Jay? You see it? Now no, hold on, give me a second now, because I'm about to get on them. Now I can turn around and say I work hard so my kids need Jordans. I work hard so my kids.
No, that's different. That's different. That's different.
No, it's not.
No,
It's
That's
not.
different.
It's not. It's not.
That is
It's not.
different.
It's
No, it's
Hey,
not.
bro,
not.
It's not
I
just
have
It's
about
I
not.
have a Honda Accord. I could put all my 3 children back there. I felt
yes.
safer with them being in a bigger vehicle, newer, because that's a 2001 Honda Accord.
That's still
Okay, this
preference.
is
It's not necessity.
yeah, but again,
It's
but
not
come on, you
necessity.
know me. I can see if I did this all the time. This is one thing where I said I'm going to spend more money because this is what I want for my
Right.
family. I don't do this
It's
all the
still, but
time.
we're talking about the premise. What you need to do is say that I put myself in a position where I'm afforded that luxury to have
Yeah,
the
that's what I
content.
said.
But to
That's
say,
what I
but
said.
no, you didn't. You said no, you didn't. You said need. And the reason why we have to identify need is because that's what people do when they want something and they justifying to themselves to get it. And
No,
that's
no,
not
no,
true. You
no.
do not
When
need
you are
anything.
able to afford things like that, you can need it.
That's not need.
You know?
No, that's not true.
You taught me
Let's put it
that,
this way.
D-Rod. What are you talking
Put
about?
it
Just
this
because
way.
your income
Let's put
increases
it this
doesn't
way.
mean you have to spend more.
If you need oxygen, stop breathing
This guy.
and do it, baby. Nigga.
You forgot who you're talking to.
You
This guy.
you
This
can't
is
you can't argue
you
with someone
can't
like
do
this.
nothing with this. What I was gonna say a little earlier though. What I was gonna say a little earlier was that I think that a lot of the times you guys are retarded, or I'm sorry, you guys
I'm
are
not gonna
mentally
do it with you.
impaired. A lot of the reasons why I think you see that is because a lot of people grow up without having a visual representation of what marriage is supposed to look like.
Right.
So a lot of us are just winging it. We just don't know. Like I can honestly say from my perspective that a lot of the marriages in me and my wife talk about all the time. A lot of the marriages around us came before us. They suck. I mean, they just do. They suck financially. Like they have shit going on. So a lot of time with our marriage, we're winging it, man. Like we don't really know what marriage is supposed to look like. We don't really know how married couples are supposed to handle their money. We're really just every day is just like, look, man, we just gonna go out there and do our best. So I think
Hmm.
that a lot of people think that the material things are what you are supposed to do. And you're supposed to have a big house. You're supposed to have a nicer car. You're supposed to have 2 different cars. You're supposed to have,
At me next
George.
time, cuz.
You're supposed to have Jordans on all your kids' feet. All your kids
No,
are
no.
supposed to have separate rooms. They shouldn't have to share rooms even though they're same sex. Because a lot of us don't have representation. We gotta look at the Wills and Jadas. You know what I mean?
Well,
And
I tell you where I got it from. I got it from Home Alone. I thought
yeah,
that was the perfect family.
you
Look
know
at
what
the
I mean?
house he was in. Look, extra cars, expensive trip. I thought this is success.
The American dream.
Right.
The American dream. That house, they were not thinking that they're in New York. Do you know how much
Yeah.
money you need to have a house that big?
Yeah.
So that
That
that's
was a
where a
three
lot of
million
it
dollar
comes from.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again,
Yes, a lot of it comes from TV. So you watch TV and I tell people all the time, I just like what I like. No, you don't. You
Right.
like what
Right.
you've been told to like. Because
Right.
when I go to the West Coast and I run into a lady with 3 kids, she throws them in a 7-year-old Subaru. My aunt Siri, who has two children, has always had an older car. She's also an accountant, so I know she's really cheap, but she always had an older car, and both of her kids are advanced. So what we think materialism equals success and good, and it really, really, really doesn't. Because if you took all that stuff away, then more people could say, "My wife's not going to work.
yeah.
Right.
My wife
And
isn't
and
going
I
to
like
work. I'm going
I
to."
like I like what you just said too, man. Like we have to kill the, I guess, perception, for lack of a better term. Being cheap is not a bad thing.
Not at
In
all.
the black
At
in the
all.
black community, being cheap has been made to been like this bad loser type of thing. There's nothing wrong with being cheap, man. Nothing
Nothing.
at all.
D-Raj
No.
got me. I only spend $400 of my check, and that's hurting, bro. It's hurting because you know me. I
Yeah.
drive in a new car,
That's the way to go, though. That's how you
so
do it, bro.
and I've been only spending 400, and I've been sticking to that. And I do see more money. I do see it stacking up in a better way, but
Yeah.
is my life then I start my other thing too I start doing before I talk to D Rod, and he went on his being cheap theologian trip. But before that, I was already practicing modesty. I was researching modesty, because modesty is something that it really gets overlooked when we get into, screw black families, the American family, because a lot of
Yeah.
us do not have modesty. That we How you know we don't have it? Because it's a word that some people have never even heard in their household. Ooh, be modest, Jay. Be
Yeah.
modest. How is that going to make other people feel? Modesty is a serious thing people need to, and I know that I'm guilty of it, because my plaque is up at the Ritz Carlton, because I was thinking, well, I got the money, so I
Right.
want to do this. But at the same time, what I really started realizing, now I've been staying at places like Sleep In for $60 and all this type of stuff,
Ooh.
and then I would stay somewhere nice, and I would compare, is that I'm really only in this room to take a shower and go to sleep.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So why am I spending $390 a night plus $150 in food?
Had to get
Or
me
you
a
It
could
little.
just,
doesn't make sense.
or you could just sleep right here in the back.
Well, I don't
That was
understand what
my
you mean. I don't
You,
understand
you
what
can
you
sleep
sleep
in
mean.
in
the
a
truck.
sleeper.
Sleep in the
Well, I
truck.
mean, when I would meet, when if I
Again,
meet
that's
with
that's
a
me. Y'all trying to talk to me about getting a car, but y'all the ones that stay in hotels. I sleep in my
well,
truck.
and my business is media. When I'm doing heavy editing, I like to sit up at a desk. So
Hmm.
it's just better for me to knock the videos out. And if a young lady decides to come see the Big Beezy, I'm not trying to have them in a truck. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Now, this is another
E-
thing too. At the time, in my subtle defense, because it's still wrong, I'm agreeing with you. But now I'm looking at a woman that I would talk to is, what's wrong with the comfort in? See, now I got to look at you, because if this is a problem, you ain't practicing modesty, and I refuse to give you the dirty long schlong, and me and you don't have the same values.
Yeah.
Right.
You understand what I'm
But
saying?
see,
Because
it
most
Yeah. No,
depends
dudes
I'm
on
is
with
what
that.
going
comfort
in
in you're
and not
staying in,
doing
though.
that.
Depending on what comfort in you're staying in, because I done
And
stayed in
I'm
some
not. Hey,
comfort
bro.
in.
It it,
Listen.
it, it,
Woo!
I ain't trying to hear none of that, bro.
it
You made me
depends.
give up my
It
house.
depends
I'm
on who you're
staying in
talking
the
to.
Ritz Carlton. I done gave up my house. I done gave up both my cars, and I'm
Hey,
starting
bro.
to fully
But
over. I'm
but
staying in the suite, bro. I
once
ain't
you
trying to
get
hear.
through, you gonna be like, my man. So
I hear you, but
you
it's
know,
getting through is the hard part,
Now
bro.
you
So
don't.
bear with me.
right.
The woman that I would choose to talk to would have to say, "Yo, I dig the modesty trip that you're on," and I'd be like, "Oh, you cheap," or "Oh, this is raggedy." She would have to see the value in me saying, "I don't need to spend that much money."
Yeah.
And the
Yeah,
thing is, a lot of people, a lot of dudes, they can't see that, because they use their car and their affluence or their status symbols to pull women, when really those are
that's
the wrong women. You
huge
shouldn't even be
facts.
talking to them women.
Huge
Right.
facts.
Right.
Huge facts. A lot of people. I was gonna say to you, TB. A lot of us younger black men look at modesty as a form of disrespect. Like somebody coming up to us and say, "Hey, man, you need to humble yourself. You need to just relax." We look at that as disrespect. Like, forget you, bro. I made $2,000 last week. I don't got to modest or humble anything. You know what I mean? Because we think the money's always going to keep coming. Then the money stops, and we was living paycheck to paycheck, making $2,000 a week, and it's like, oh, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it just, yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's a
Because I
good
mean,
point
I,
on
I look
modesty.
at it as, I looked at this one website that showed the cars of the top 15 billionaires.
Hmm.
One dude drives a golf course car to work. I think it was Warren Buffett at the time had a 9-year-old Cadillac. Jeff Bezos, he still drives a '92 Honda Accord. You heard me?
But
Elon Musk drives
they
a
still
Tesla.
own other cars, though. They still own other cars
Well, I mean, they have families.
as
They're
investments, though.
billionaires.
It's
But we're
it's
talking
investments,
about,
though.
I mean, I don't even know if it's an investment for them. I just know that the people that are under them that they care about does not live by their strict code of what they're doing. That's also why they're not billionaires in their own right.
Right.
So
Mm,
you're allowed to be what you are. You, my daughter, get what you want. But the reason why someone like a Jeff Bezos does it, he says he does it, is to keep him in the good mind frame of what he needs to do. That's what got him where he needs to go. And he feels like, I like the car, and that's what it should be. The car runs. I
Right.
don't need another car.
Right.
And that's the main thing, because I know people who will get a Tahoe and the new shape will come out and they'll trade that sucker in.
right.
Yeah.
With negative equity, and get a
Yeah.
brand new one.
If they
Yeah.
know
Nah,
what
we
that
ain't
is,
doing that.
Jay.
They probably don't.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
I give you
So
a
let me
perfect
ask you.
example. My
Oh, go ahead.
ex, me and her stopped messing with each other. I told her keep the F-150.
Mm.
And I love that F-150, but I told her keep it because I'm in the mind frame. I don't want that bill. You want to pay the bill and keep it. I don't. You took it off my. I don't even want it.
Right.
And I went and got the dragon y'all scared of. So forget about it.
Hey, bro, I don't have a
Hey,
car, so I can't reach you with nothing but my damn flip flops, bro.
hey, bro, it's okay, bro. It's okay. We gonna get
Listen,
through
hey,
it,
look,
baby.
listening to D-Rod, bro, I done gave it all up, bro. I ain't gotta give it all up, bro.
Hey, bro,
Bruh, I,
hey.
I, that Honda was $1,800, bro. Get 38 miles a gallon. Got
Hmm.
160,000 miles on it.
Right,
Ain't
right.
got no AC though. God damn, I gotta get the AC.
Ooh, yeah, you gotta get the AC, cuz I still got the AC in the Honda because I drive the Honda Accord, but the Enclave is for the wife. So, you
And
know.
that's smart. And a man, if we go back to man values, and back in the day, the men that I knew, they always drove the old pickup truck full of tools to work,
Hmm.
and they old lady had the nice car.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
They always did that. This is my
yeah.
work truck, and they throw their tools in the back, and they go on up to the shipyard, and they do what they gotta do. They throw their tools and their boots in the back, and they go on. We one of them old Nissan 4-cylinder joints, and they drive that truck for
Yeah,
20 years.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Nobody's into that no more. They buying
No,
enclaves and Crown
no,
Vics and
hey, bro, that's
Benz
for
and
the
all that
wife.
stuff.
That's for the wife. That's yeah, yo. Again, like you said with women though. My grandmother told me a long time ago. She said, "Get you a woman that will multiply your dollar,
Mm.
right? That'll stretch your dollar, And that's what my wife does. My wife, it's time. It's so crazy because I send money home to her, and she'll call, and the money is for her to do whatever she wants to do, and then she'll call me and be like, I'm gonna do this and do that. I'm like, baby, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's just the love and respect she has for me to be like, I just don't want to do nothing crazy. And it's just like, honey, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? She always making sure the money stretches. And we'll go at the supermarket and she'll be like, oh, we can get this for a discount. And I'm like, man, nobody worry about that. Come on. But she always trying to stretch the dollar. You know what I'm saying? So she deserves
Yeah, because your
the
woman should be your
enclave.
lawyer.
Right.
Your
Oh,
woman
yeah, hey,
should be
bro.
your lawyer.
She,
You ever went to a hotel and I go in there, I just throw the cash down and be like, send food to my
yeah,
room. You go in
right.
there with a chick. They like, what's the incidentals? I'm like, what's that? Well, when do y'all give back the incidentals? Well,
Yeah.
online it says it's $90. Like, god
Right.
damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just gave him the
yeah,
150. And
yeah.
then
I mean,
took
they be
$300 extra off the incidentals
be
and
looking at
put
the
it on the
receipt
back.
like, what is this? I don't make, me, I'm just like, man, just come on, let's go to the room. Hold on. What is this right here though? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I like that a lot, man, about my wife. So
And they catch mistakes, and they also they'll go in there and be like, look at your joint and be like, you need to call them and ask them this, and oh, I'm about to pay
Yep.
this. No, call and ask them, can this be done first? And that's stuff that men don't do. They feel like, oh, the bill come, you just pay
you
and
just
keep it
pay it,
moving.
right?
And it's something to have a woman that's like, wow, we just gonna be doing this. We don't need to do that. That's a
Yeah,
big thing, man. See, now that's modesty. Now this also comes in when how you want your woman to dress. If you want her to be all Gucci'd up and a cheek meat in the wind and all this type of stuff, that ain't modest, bro.
nah, nah,
At all.
That's not
nah.
modest. You should
At
be
all.
okay
Yeah,
with your old lady in sweatpants, so and so, stretching a dollar. You not. You'll turn around, and look at the hot thotty with no mind, and think,
yeah,
oh, I'm going over there because it's more shinier. Another thing too, and people don't want to hear this, is stop watching pornography.
Mm.
But nobody want to hear me say that. Let me tell you something. Don't watch pornography ever. Don't watch that, because what that does is pornography youth increasingly need something more exotic, more pressure, more edgy, and you'll evolve your sexuality past your old lady,
Mm.
and now your old lady ain't gonna get you off. So do not. And the thing is, if you can't stop, you got a problem.
got a problem. Hmm.
You got a problem. That's
I can
why
stop.
erectile dysfunction, you're right, the main age for erectile dysfunction is 17 to 27. That is ridiculous. It used
For
to be
real?
60.
Wow. Hey, I'm about to say I didn't know those that young.
Yes,
Wow.
because kids are getting their phone at 10, 11 years old. hitting puberty, finding out there's boobies on there, and then they're like
Yeah.
glued to their phone, and
Right.
they're so into it,
Oh my
they're not realize
God.
their brain looks as their phone as, oh, this is when I'm supposed to get erect. So then when they get with an actual girl, they don't get erect because their
Right.
brain is taught you're supposed to get erect when the phone shows you something.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
They got it so, bro. I
So
remember
stop
at
you
I used to have to stay up to 1
stop
a.m.
watching
to get
pornography.
BET and cut to get something. Now they got it in their phone. I'm so jealous, bro. You know what I
Showtime.
used to have? You know what I mean?
Tip
Turn
drip.
the
Tip
TV
drip.
down, put it on mute, and have Cartoon Network on last, bro. They got it so easy. All they gotta do is go to the bathroom. Shit's
Yo,
crazy, bro.
once they
Yeah.
figure out,
Yeah.
and the thing is, I'm mad at them because they got premium HD. Like,
Yeah.
bro, I was watching my
Yeah.
stepfather's
First person
like
view,
bush
third
shit with
person
the
view.
bushes.
Yeah, crazy,
So
man.
hey,
Dude wearing a
talking about
GoPro and everything.
right, talking about not watching porn. Have y'all ever heard of, like semen retention, like holding your not
I do that.
ejaculating for long periods of time,
I do that. I've
holding your
heard. I've
energy?
heard 30 days before.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
I
do that,
just did
and it
4 weeks.
affects your sex. It affects your sex drive, and you're holding in testosterone, and you're not letting it go. So when it's time to actually lay with your woman, you're hitting them like a 20-year-old. But if you
Right,
go on the road and you rubbing it out to Megan Thee Stallion 2-3 times a day, you get home and wonder why you have new dick.
right, right, right.
And
Yeah. So
it's
okay.
another thing too. If you can't go 7 days without an orgasm, you got a problem. You
Yes.
have a problem.
Yeah.
You have a
Yeah.
legit problem. Because think about it. When you masturbate or when you have an orgasm, it's a rush of dopamine. That's the same thing crackheads are addicted to. There's no
Yeah.
difference.
Right,
You're just getting there in a different way.
right.
Right.
That also takes away your sensitivity to your actual penis when you get in some pussy. Because let's be real, you can make your hand tight as you want it. Then you get the pussy, you like, this shit ain't even hot like that. Because you're desensitizing yourself. You're used to being touched.
Right. Right.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Change
now
the
But no,
when
levels
you
of
get
it.
there, you can move
the
the finger and all that. You can't do that in no
yeah.
pussy.
Yeah, man, that's
But
definitely
y'all don't
a
want to
thing
hear
that I
that. But
practice.
y'all don't want to hear that. And when I say that, let's be real. When I say that, I'm gay. I'm
Yeah,
gay.
I don't know why they.
Oh, we talking about he don't want no
What?
pussy. He gay. He gay now.
Yeah,
He gay.
Oh, okay.
I'm gay because
Oh,
I'm
okay.
yeah,
telling you that this is hurting you.
right.
Yeah.
This is hurting you. Womenizing hurts you. It's not some
Yeah,
shit I'm making up.
Right.
Womenizing hurts you. More chance of disease, financial slavery, bad credit, possibility for jailment, diseases that can kill you. It hurts you to womanize. The fact that you can't not do it is a problem.
so that's probably
Right.
why
And
truck
the
drivers
reason
be
you can't
broke.
stay attracted to your old lady,
That's because
I ain't
I'm
saying
just
that.
I'm trying to figure out why all these truck drivers always broke, but they probably be spending that
Oh,
money on
hey,
that
hey,
me
bro.
lane pay lane.
Hey, bro. I threw enough subliminals last podcast. I'm sticking out
What's that?
this.
That ain't no subliminal.
Listen,
I'm just is that why? Because again, my thing about
bro,
in trucking is like why so many truck drivers are broke.
Right.
because they got a lot of churn.
I got
And,
three.
and another thing too, if they don't got a lot of churn, they got a lot of churn, but they all with the same person. They got a lot of child
Mm,
support cases.
right,
You
right,
hear me? So
right.
they got a lot of churn, and plus they tricking on new joints too.
Yeah,
Now you spending every time you stop, you spending $200-$300 paying a bitch, light bill and shit, getting nails done. Every time you get a new chick, you trying to show off. And
yeah,
chicks steal your money, all that type of stuff.
right.
Or they do what they do in Norfolk. I don't know if they do this in Hampton, Jay. You gonna have to speak on it. They do what they call the abortion scam. That's what they do in my
I've
hood.
heard of that.
So
Yeah, I've
what they
heard of
do
that.
is
Oh, yeah,
they'll
yeah,
fuck
yeah,
five,
yeah.
six dudes, and
And
then
tell
they'll
them
call
all.
each one of them, tell them they need three
Yeah.
hundred for an abortion,
Three
That's
hundred
tough, bro.
dollars.
clean
That's
up.
tough.
$300.
That's tough.
$300.
Hey,
Man,
bro.
yeah.
Well,
I've heard
like,
of
for
that. Yeah, I've
any
heard of
young
that.
fellas watching this, if you in that, you need to go with her. You need to go with her.
Or
Don't.
or or you need to practice safe sex,
Yeah.
or you need to talk to a person long enough to know that them wanting a
They're
kid is
not gonna
not
do
an
you.
option, and
Right.
you trust the form of contraceptive that she chooses to freaking use. That's what you
Yeah.
need to be doing. But you
Yeah.
fucking her
Right.
before you don't even know her middle name. What color she like? You don't know that.
Right.
Having
And you be like, oh, who you hit?
unprotected
Oh, I hit,
sex,
all
having
you know is about what
unprotected
she look like.
sex in the
That's it.
first week in 2020, having unprotected sex with somebody in the first week is not cool anymore. It used to be cool at one point in time, but this day and age, it's just too much risk, man.
Yeah.
It's too much
And
I
risk.
will
this is
not have sex with a
from a guy
woman.
who never had an
I will not have
STD.
sex with a woman if I have. I mean, neither. This is me. I'm the type of person that I will not have a sex with a woman until I know him at least 9 months, and that's a fact. And
That's
some of them has went. Some
Well,
of them has
I only have
went
sex with my
to
wife, so
a
I
year.
don't know nothing about that. So
same.
No, well, I ain't old enough to get married, so we ain't talking
so
about
hey,
that.
real
What I'm
Same.
quick,
talking about is
let's ask this question though.
there you go,
Here we go.
Let's
Here we
ask
go.
this
there you
question,
go.
Mr. Trucker Brown, aka Sean. When are you going to get married? When are you going to find that
Never.
right lady?
That nigga
When
ain't
you
getting
go?
married.
I have never been stupid enough to sign something that dumb.
Okay,
That's
so
offensive.
Now
That's
now
offensive.
listen.
that is offensive.
It's a okay. It's offensive. I did get married when I was younger, but I ain't had shit neither. So the separation was amicable because I ain't had nothing for you to get in the first place. But
so
you
in
telling me
Virginia,
I'm gonna get married now for what?
if you with somebody for 7 years, and at a common law,
Yeah. Last I
No,
heard,
in
unless they
Virginia it's
changed it.
6 months.
Oh,
huh?
it's 6 months now? I thought it was seven
Yeah,
years.
and in the great state of Virginia, if you're with someone for like 6 months, they can go up there and claim common law marriage. It probably won't be as easy as claiming after a couple years, but they can try.
Oh
Wow.
shit.
I
So
didn't know it
so
was
when you
six
Now,
find that
months.
here
one,
let's
when you
huh?
find that one, and what you go, you know what I'm saying, 6 months to 7 years, you lock down, cuz.
What do you mean?
When you find that one,
Listen, let, let me tell you why. Now, if I
You
gave
gotta
you a
readjust the
contract,
headset.
let's say the contract that you are giving us to sign for this podcast, and let's say a contract I give you is all right, Jay, all right, D-Raj, we gonna do this. We gonna share all the money. Everything gonna be good. But if you fuck up, I get half of all your assets. Would you sign it?
hell no,
No.
So why would you sign it with anyone else?
because I love this woman.
And he go another. And he that's stupid because you're not supposed to do business decisions on emotion. So that's a dumb move right there.
Yeah,
Now
She was my
not
best
even in
this
friend.
game out.
business.
Check, first of all, if it ain't business, you wouldn't have signed the paper. Now we got to be real now here for a second. Signing a
Mm,
paper is business.
Right.
right,
Now you could have went and had an Indian marriage, jumped around for the rain gods, and said you was married. You didn't do that.
right,
You went down there and signed papers with the great state of Virginia,
Yeah.
and they gonna say when it's over, oh, this is business.
right,
Now peep game. Peep real game. You won't sign that with me when it's proven that our male platonic relationship will last longer than your marriage. That's a proven fact. But you
Yeah,
won't
I
sign the
believe.
paper with me. You won't sign the paper with the person that statistics say is going to divorce you in 10 years.
right.
That's the
But
dumbest shit I ever
my
heard,
wife
bro.
and I, if anything was to happen, we keep everything the same. I keep sending her money. She take care of the kids, so we good. We ain't even worry about it. We ain't even gonna
Yeah.
get divorced.
Yeah.
I can't. I can't. I don't know
Okay.
about that.
Well,
I
and
would
Jeff
just say.
Bezos just
I
gave
think.
up $35 billion 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So stop.
I don't know, man. Like when it comes to that, man, I would say from my perspective, like I'm not. I'm not. I don't regret marrying my wife, but I will say that when I did get married at that time, like that shit was like religion to me, bro. That's just what I was always raised to believe in. You feel what I'm saying? So it was
Yeah,
just like it was drilled in my thinking at that point. You know what I mean? Like now,
Mm.
like if I could go back and redo it, we probably I don't know, maybe we would have got married, maybe we wouldn't have, but she would have still been the one without question. Because sometimes I think
Mm.
TB when people hear you saying that, they may think of it as are you questioning my me saying that this is the woman that I love and I want to be with forever. And I know that it's not, because
No,
you're
because I
saying
have
that, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
have
I
it.
understand. Yeah, I understand.
I'm
So,
questioning I'm questioning the paper you signed. And
yeah,
we always
yeah,
attach it to the woman. And it don't have nothing to do with the woman, because be
yeah,
clear, if shit
yeah,
go wrong, you're not even gonna be able to talk to her. You're gonna be talking to the court, who is gonna be asking you to give up. They're gonna do a forensic dig into your money, D-Raj, who got money everywhere, and they're gonna get
Right.
court documents to find all of your assets, and they're
Yeah.
gonna do what they have to do with it. You ain't even talking to her no more. So why would you sign a paper that invites someone? If you're so against, well, we're not slaves and my kids don't go to these institutions. Why would you use the institution for your marriage?
We didn't
Well,
know
That don't
first
nothing.
make
of all,
sense.
I
We didn't know
wasn't woke
nothing.
when I got married.
Yeah, we
I
didn't know
wasn't woke.
nothing.
But they
Okay.
don't care. That's
Who?
not a defense.
We didn't. We
No, no,
know
no.
not
Yeah.
that we
Ignorance of the
we didn't
law is
care.
not a defense.
We didn't. We didn't. We didn't care. We didn't know enough to know that we should have cared.
Right.
We
Right.
were ignorant. We were
Yeah, well,
ignorant
you're
to the
gonna know
fact.
better later. Know it.
But I've told my
Yeah,
wife
yeah, 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 yeah.
I've told my wife plenty of times that like she has an aunt that's been with someone for like over 40 years and they're not like married. They didn't sign the paper. I told her that I believe that relationship is more beautiful than a marriage because when you can be with someone that long without being quote unquote married in our system, that right there is beautiful because you can always go your separate ways. But because you actually want to be with each other or you love each other that much, it's beautiful. But when I, again, my wife, we were best friends in college. We reconnected, and I was just all lost in the song. Got married, but as we grew and started, when we separated from the church and started looking into our inner selves, started getting, unplugging from the matrix and learning stuff. It's like, yo, why did we give these people the power over our relationship?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we
And
understand that, but it's
the power over your assets.
yeah, that too.
So for the
And
record,
Because
for people who
when
are gonna try to dissect this, what me and D. Rogers saying is that we are not regretting marrying our wives. We're regretting getting the government involved. Is what we're saying.
yeah, yeah,
Because I know people gonna
bingo,
try to
because you
dice
could have
this
been
up.
married. You could have been married. Now they're gonna say, "Oh, well, you can have insurance and all that." I do get all of that type of stuff. I really do. But what I'm telling you is that death in marriage is the main way that the government scrapes the coffers of the common man, so they don't reach to the level of Rothschilds and stuff. Because what they do,
right,
they get in here, they charge a bunch of fees and all this stuff, and they really what they do, they eat up your asset before it even get to her.
Yeah,
yeah.
So it's just
that is crazy. You have
to
to
me,
pay to get married. That's crazy when you really think about it. You have to pay for
it's
the marriage
ridiculous.
license.
But there are ways. There's a ways around that, and
Yeah, but the
I'm
average person don't
practicing.
do
Yeah, no, and I'm not going to say it on here. I'm definitely not going to say it on here. But
that.
there are
Yeah.
ways to get around that, and we are practicing that. So you have to do your own research, But I mean, it's nothing.
Or you could not sign the paper in the first place, and you don't got to research shit.
You're right.
Because
You're right.
because that's what Dean say. Oh, well, you can get a prenuptial agreement. I could not sign the paper in the first place
Yeah, yeah,
because I
yeah.
don't want a person to need to be with me. I want a person to want to be with me.
Fact.
Okay, how do you treat a car you need, and how do you treat a car you want?
A lot different.
Real
Completely
good.
different.
Yeah. Well,
So
I
it's a
treat my
fact.
wife very
Now, my
good.
thing is, if
If
you're
I tell you what, if Jada wanted Will, we wouldn't be talking about the August Alsina situation.
But
Boom.
and she went back to him because she need him.
Yeah,
Right.
big facts.
I
Big
digress.
facts.
And he went back to her because he don't want to get his assets cut now.
Right.
Yeah,
Because they getting
yeah,
cut.
yeah. So it's
They getting cut.
I'm not giving. Listen, one woman has gotten to my pockets, and that is the mother of my child. I ain't had another one, and she got 4 years and 9 months left. I'm not giving nobody else access to my assets. Like I'm not gonna do it.
I got, I
And
got,
Right.
I got.
I also told her I'm not leaving him nothing if he don't have my last name when I die.
Mm.
For real?
He,
And
he
she
has the
like,
last
well,
name.
that's fuck. No,
Mm.
Is she going to
no.
change it?
I told her it don't matter what you do because I give my shit to charity. I'm not giving a dime to a kid that don't got my last name. Period. I
For
give it to
real?
my brother if I get him.
Oh
Even,
shit.
I
And
mean, look,
listen,
hold on. Even now, I mean, I can get that at birth, but I mean, that's your man's. You know what I mean? Like even like I mean, once like let's say hold on, wait, let me explain. Let me say like once he turns, because I've seen this a lot, where like from birth to 18, the father and the son isn't close, bad relationship, and a lot of times it's because of the mother and factors. But let's say once he turned 18, and I've seen it where it's like you and him become like this because it's just like mom ain't in the way. I'm choosing to fuck with you, dad, and he decides to change his name. Then what?
Perfect.
Yeah, he should.
I'm not leaving my hard-earned life's work to anyone with a last name named Brown.
Right. Because I feel like that's not his fault right now. That's you know what I mean. Because I just don't want him to pay for his mom.
But what is my face telling you? What is my face telling you? I don't give a
I feel you. I'm just saying.
I tell my son all the time, this is the real world, and no one gives a shit about how you feel. That's a fact.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I fuck with that.
If you don't have my last name when I'm about to die, whoever the fuck does gets everything. So if you don't have my last name, you're fucked. I don't know what to tell you. You're screwed.
Well, I can tell you what he's doing for his 18th birthday party.
Because the thing is, that's a subtle way of showing dominance by not just choosing not to give the kid the last name. Now check this out. My baby mama just had another child by another dude.
Gave him the last
that child
name.
Don't got the dude's last name.
For real?
No, she didn't.
Wow,
that's a little.
That's petty, man. That's so petty.
That's how they do. Man. And this is another thing too. I still take care of my kid. I sent way above what I need to. Whenever I can get him, I can. I do what I have to do for my child. But I tell her most dudes wouldn't even see him because men do not take care of things they don't own.
Yeah.
Right.
So she gave both of them her last name?
Yep.
That is so because me and my brother have different dads, but we both have our dad's last name. That's just almost like the same way, you know, I was raised in religion and the same way I was raised to be married. Like a father that's there, regardless of the relationship of the mother, he deserves that last. That's just like religion to me, man. Like, I mean, my son's a junior, so, but I mean, that's
you are even messing up the legitimacy. Let's say I never met my son, and I died, and he was notified. You're messing up his legitimacy for inheritance if I'm not there to choose. Yeah, you're messing up his money on your stupid little act. Because when you get there, all these kids with my last name will be like, who the fuck is you? Right. I'm so-and-so Johnson. Well, you're screwed because you're not related.
That's tough, man.
So it's a subtlety to thing. And the reason why black people don't care is because we do not understand lineage. If you understood lineage, you would date a different woman than most black men are dating. You wouldn't be chasing women with huge asses. You would be thinking about their genetic makeup before you got with them. Also, you would have a hierarchy in your family, which would have to approve that choice before you got married to her, because the family usually has a greater pot of wealth. And that's why they have something to say about your wife. We don't have that. We come from broke niggas. So no, hey, just do whatever you want. That's not how it is. If your father and mother didn't approve her, you wasn't going to marry her. And if you did marry her, you cut out the will.
Yeah, we are actually practicing arranged marriages. We're working on that. We're definitely working on that. It ain't just you just gonna get, because I mean, again, by time
that's what you doing in 2020
for my children.